I used to be somebody before that freak Ayuz sent his army south and ruined everything. We had a nice racket going on in the land of the freelords, or what the rest of the Flaness calls the Bandit kingdoms. We had a territory we ran, and we hustled and stole what we could from who we could. Sure, we fought amongst ourselves, and I'd just as soon stick my dagger into someone from the freelords as anywhere else. But we always banded together when an outside force threatened all of our businesses. But all that changed when Ayuz came a-calling. Half of the freelords joined forces with Ayuz to save their skins, and the other half got wiped out or sent packing to the other lands, all down into the rift. I was no hero, and neither were any of my mates. So after the massacre of Steelbone Meadows, we did what any guys in our situation would have done. We hightailed it out of there. The only problem is that everywhere we went, there were old enemies waiting. After finally getting corralled by the Ernst soldiers, I was left to rot in a dungeon, waiting for them to decide what to do with me. The way the gods look at us, I don't think we're gonna like what it is they have in store.
Here we go, and now we're live. So you got to see us before you hear us. Nothing new there,
right?
But we should be okay now.
That was my fault. To anybody who is watching, that's residual technical difficulties from when I had my hands all over everything, and I messed with all of Adam's.
Luckily, I've had so many screw ups early on that I know where to look for them now.
So true. But you do a stellar job. So anyway, hello and welcome. This is what episode are we on? We're on 9. This is 9, right?
9, yeah.
Yeah, episode 9. Woo! One shy of 10.
Well, yeah, math.
Yeah. Right. Hey,
I don't know if that constitutes math.
Sure it does.
Watch this.
Technically, that's math.
Yeah, watch this. 11 plus 1, 13. See,
yeah, you're good at this. He's better at reverse math.
I'm the guy. Well, hey,
otherwise
all
known as subtraction.
Hey, and I'm the guy who's running it. So there you go. I just like to instill people with confidence. That's what I do. So
that's how he does points. He's like, see, I've got 11 left. It took 2 damage. I must have 15 now.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's how it is. It's like, I rolled 2d6 damage. Yeah, you did. You just took 24 points of damage. Anyway, thank you and welcome everybody again to Return to the Bandit Kingdoms, episode 9. I am Will DM. I will be your dungeon master for this evening, and we're going to go ahead and let's see. Who do I never start off with? I haven't started off because I usually go from the sides down and whatnot. So I'm going to just get crazy with it. And hey, Phil, why don't you tell everybody who you are and who you're going to be playing?
Before we do that, thank you to Cog Whistle for following Return to the Bandit Kingdoms here in Wicked Studios.
Yeah, thanks, Cog. Did that just happen? I missed it.
Yeah. Well, you'll see it in a moment. It happens to me first.
Oh, that's right, because you're like the.
I'm moments in the future.
You're moments, but you're like sort of like Back to the Future, except without the cool DeLorean.
Yeah, or the vest.
Or that trying to have sex.
You can get the vest though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I've never come close to making out with my mother, so that's another difference.
That's helpful.
Yeah, but that's
Oedipus complex over there.
Exactly.
No
okay,
wonder he was screwed up for the later movies.
Right? Because in the back of his mind, he kept eating, and I was like, "Damn, that was a good kiss, though."
Oh, see what you did, Cog Whistle? This is what happens as soon as you followed us.
That's right. I'm totally derailed. I'm off on. I'm just going all haywire here now.
Hi guys.
Hey!
Phil.
Hey, Bill.
Nice to meet y'all. I'm playing Norjor. He's a Furbolg druid. His tribe lives in the Tingles and generally stays away from other humanoids and civilizations for good reason, evidently, because everything is a shit show outside of the woods. And he is gradually coming to realize that. But he is also kind of in it deep, and he has a goal that he has to accomplish. So he's with this, this ragtag gang of adventurers, and we're gonna do what we can to set things right, or totally fuck everything up.
Yep.
There's no middle ground.
What's the official title, Wyndon?
Well, I refer to us as Press-Ganged Opportunists.
There it is. That's so good. I got to get a T-shirt with that on there because that
I think
kind of
step
rolls
one
off
is
the tongue.
just simply remembering it.
I was hoping you would.
That's why he needs the T-shirt.
The T-shirt would help.
Thank you.
The
I just
T-shirt
looked
could
at it and
help.
go,
You're right.
Ah, that's right. That's who you guys are. All right. Oh, well, since I stepped all over Steve there, hey, Steve, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody who you are and who you'll be playing?
Sure, I'm Steve. I am playing Wyndon Frostfeld. He is a not altruistic person, but he's been dragooned in this whole escapade, much against his will, and he's trying to make the best of it. He's hoping to make some profit out of it other than getting his soul back and probably revenge, but he's actually more interested in money than revenge, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, hopefully. Okay, so now we'll be going over to, wow.
Well, we lost Phil, so I moved it over. So.
Oh, it's the curse of me. Well, Phil was done introducing himself, so there you go. All right, so
You can't see me or you can't hear me.
no, I can hear you. There you go.
You're back.
You're back.
You're back.
Dun dun dun. Look at that. These are actually special effects, folks. You don't get this with other streams. I'm just throwing that out there.
It's all part of the fun.
Visible.
Is Steve missing his jaw on purpose, or?
I can
Oh,
actually
everybody
see his
kinda-
jaw now, so it's.
Well, now Steve
Have
is
a GoFundMe page for Steve and his missing jaw.
It's your nice titanium jaw.
That's right.
You're like the guy from James Bond there with the.
Oh yeah, no doubt, huh? All right. I know the names are different right now. That'll get cleared up here in a second. But Steve, go ahead and introduce yourself and who you'll be playing. So just wave so everybody knows which guys you. Oh, did you do it? Yeah. No, my bad. Never mind. Shut up, Steve. What are you doing? Quit trying to hog up the show, dude.
Sorry, my bad.
All right, Jers, go ahead and tell everybody who you are and who you'll be playing.
I'm Jairus. I play Rahly. He's a half-elf. He is a sorcerer. He doesn't realize that sorcery is magic. He just thinks they're like sneezing. You know, some people sneeze. He teleports. He's a nice guy. He is a thief and a con man, and he's killed people. But he's a nice guy at heart. That's his center. But he's with a bunch of dicks. Love you guys.
And he's a loving son.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
as much as he can, it's reciprocal.
There you go. There you go.
It's
All right. Did we lose his audio now too, or is that just me?
I don't know. Who are you talking about?
here.
I think
Jairus.
Jairus just stopped talking.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Phil.
Well,
That's the
talking
technical
now.
term
It's
for
your
losing
turn.
audio, I guess.
It's like
All
Brody or
right.
Skype. If they're not talking, do they exist or not?
Hell yeah, dude! I love that. Okay, so now we're gonna go and Michael, go ahead and tell everybody who you are and who you'll be playing.
I am Michael, and I am playing Three Toes, who had fled the town here that we're in, the city of Rook Roost, previously, and not too happy to be back, but making some contacts and so forth, and seeing what happens next.
Excellent.
Very lovable, very favorite character if you're new. He's very, very charming and cheerful type of fellow.
He is totally.
People's champion.
There it is. You can,
What is with everyone misrepresenting their characters in introductions? Like every single
I
time.
don't think I misrepresented mine.
No, Steve has it. But Jairus and the Three Toes, consistently, it's like, oh yeah, they're just friendly guys, just with a little murder hobo streak going through them.
well, see, that's just it.
Assassin, and this, I'm complex.
Those with most to hide rarely play their cards face up. That's that's the way it works, man. Okay, and last but not least, our esteemed producer, which we all missed you terribly the past 2 weeks.
It was
Adam.
much easier for me just to play. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm sure it was. It's way easier for me to run too when I gotta do that. All right, go ahead, tell everybody who you are and who you'll be playing.
Hey everybody, I'm Adam. I'm playing Silver Wolf, a local politician. No, I'm just kidding. He's a guy who was raised in the woods. His father is a warlord. His mother is dead. He just met his uncle for the first time, who seems lovely, and I'm sure their relationship is going to blossom in a way that'll be heartwarming for everybody watching.
I'm sure.
And
It'll be like a Hallmark Channel moment.
it might be if like the Hallmark Channel were cool.
Hallmark Channel is cool.
I need to sponsor for Hallmark sponsorship.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Hallmark, if you're watching, we'd love to have you as a sponsor.
Sometimes some of us just want to feel something, okay?
Jesus.
Anything. We don't.
Yeah, okay, I don't need to hear any more of that crap. Alrighty, and as I said, I'm Will DM. I will be the Dungeon Master for this great and glorious evening of D&D Spectaculars. Does anybody have anything else they'd like to say or shout out? Or
No. I think we've done enough damage.
Right?
Get
So
going.
true in that. All right, let's get this party started. So, where did we leave off last? Who wants to be my who wants to give the update?
Not
Creek,
me.
Was Jarrus'
Creek,
show?
Creek.
So
All right.
Yeah, let's
so,
do it.
Yeah, Jarrus, no doubt. It was yeah. So tell everybody
so
what's
we
going on.
just basically spent the entire episode talking to my family. So sorry about that.
True.
That's pretty accurate.
But where we left at the very end, we had just left my father, who also wants us to work for him. Everybody wants us to work for them. We're very popular. So we've got some decisions to make and figure out a course of action, I think right now is the... And then we're going to kill some people and take some stuff, right? That's the general idea.
Wow. Yeah, that is the cliff note. Thank you, sir. Where are you guys at right now?
We're at
I think we
Raleigh's dad.
just
Do we know what
left,
Raleigh's
right?
dad's name is? I don't think
Arver.
that ever came up. But anyway, we're at his house.
Arver Nady.
Arver.
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 I'm actually not there.
Oh,
I'm
that's
back
right. Yeah,
in-
Wyndham.
Oh, that's
Dallas,
right.
Dallas.
Yeah, yeah. You're training. You were the backup if needed to be backup.
A solid week.
Also, last week, Three Toes and Silver Wolf met with Smokey Kaz, who offered to give them 5,000 gold to capture a book, possibly kill some people along the way.
Capture.
Whatever, steal. I mean, I'm trying to do a couple things at once here.
It's
They would
okay.
capture
Here,
the book.
I'll pick it up. I'll pick
Maybe
that
the
up.
book's
So,
sentient. We don't know.
Yeah,
that's
we
true.
don't.
That's true.
We're capturing a book.
Basically,
as it were.
you guys got you didn't get just one, you got a couple. You got, okay, Raleigh's mom says, hey, I got a great deal. I'm going to pay you this great big sum of, what was it, 800 gold? 800 gold to go kill this wizard. And then when you do that, you'll get in all kinds of tight and cool with Aris and the leaders of Rookroost. He's like the fiend guy that's the head Iusian that's in charge around there. And then after that, he said that basically the next one was Smokey Kaz. Smokey Kaz offered you guys 5,000 gold if you were to go and steal a magical tome for him.
Capture.
Sorry. If you go capture.
acquire.
Yeah.
Acquire. There you go. Even better. And then last, you guys, well, wait, his dad didn't offer you. Oh, yeah, he did. He said to just come work for him.
Yeah, it was general.
He's trying to bring you into the family, into the fold. And I think that's where we left off. As a matter of fact, I think the last thing that happened was he slapped one of his simply irresistible babes that were the Robert Palmer girls that were with him. and
He asked why we didn't have any souls.
exactly, he asked everybody why you didn't have souls. So this is basically, I'll paint the picture. This is where everybody except for Wyndon, Steve's character, finds himself. Wyndon, and I figured out what you're doing, Wyndon. You're hoping to catch Salas by herself.
Oh yes.
Yeah, you think I don't know, which I know.
You sly dog.
Yeah, it's like let everybody go out and do their thing, and
Right. It's not because he didn't want to have his face known to an incredibly powerful person in the city, or be in reserve for backup in case needed.
Yeah,
It's
once
just 'cause he
again,
wants
Wyndon's
to-
really the only smart one.
Yeah.
Norjor is smart, but for some reason he just keeps coming along because I think he feels like he has to protect us at this point. Cause,
Yeah, I mean, someone's got to come along in case you guys get into combat. I can go
That's
direwolf
right.
form and I can always, if worst comes to worst, I can outrun the rest of you. So
True.
And I can out-hide the rest of you, so, I don't know what you guys are going to do, but
I guess that just leaves you as the sacrificial lamb there, Silverwolf.
It's usually the case, yeah.
The fucking Nady cousins are gonna go down.
We're going down with the ship.
There it is. Okay, so basically where we're picking up again is you guys are in Aver Nady's tower, which is Rahly's dad. You guys went to talk to him to get information. I'm still not 100% sure what the whole plan with talking to him is, but Rahly's dad is well connected in the outfit. He's essentially Vig Richard, who is the new head of what used to be the Rook-Roost Guild, Thieves Guild, that ran essentially the city. There was a power struggle. New guy Vig Richard took over, renamed it the outfit because it's cooler. And essentially now, is it, how are we pronouncing that again? Is it Aver or Avar? How's your name?
I thought it was.
Arver, you're right. So like Carver, but with Arver. Okay. And his dad, Arver, is essentially like the right-hand man of Vig Richard right now. So they went there. They go into his house. It's a big opulent tower on the inside. It's got kind of a sunken living room sort of thing, and they're at this like leather sectional circular sort of thing with plants and all kinds of funky stuff. A table in the middle with drinks and food and what have you. And they started talking, and it's like it sort of turned a little bit into old. Arver Nady kind of interrogating his son about what's going on. And then to close out the last episode, he looked at everybody very casually and asked, why don't any of you have souls? And that's where we're going to pick up right there. So Arver's sitting there. He kind of like leaned back after he said that. He puts his arms back over the back behind his two Robert Palmer girls. And the reason I call them Robert Palmer girls is he's got these two elven women that are with him. They're dressed in black silk like gowns with their hair slicked back like the girls from the Robert Palmer video, Simply Irresistible. So that's where that's from. So, and he's sitting there, looks like he's waiting for an answer.
Sometimes you lose things, Oh wait, no, I'm Morgan right now. Sorry.
That's right.
Wrong character.
Okay, cut.
It's a matter that I would rather not discuss.
Oh, really? And why would you not wish to discuss this with your father? I think if anyone, I should be the one you would wish to reveal this information to the most.
Is it something you could actually help us with?
Quite possibly. I mean, where are they? They're obviously still being held by someone. They're obviously not in circulation. You haven't been dispatched and sent off to the other realms, whichever your god may be, or what have you. So what happened, son? Talk to your dear old father.
They were stolen by a man named Tobold Garner. He is trying to blackmail us into working for him.
His eyebrow goes up, and that's your dad's shocked expression.
You know this man.
Old Gerner. I've heard of him. He's an Ernst boy. Interesting. Someone from the county, you're telling me, has stolen your souls? I find this hard to believe. Is this true? And he looks at the rest of you guys. Is this who's supposedly taken your souls?
You not trust son?
Of course not. He's half his mother. And if you knew that bitch, you'd know why. Sorry.
She has only the kindest things to say about you.
Of course she does. Please, dispense with that humor. It has no basis for this conversation.
It's true, and this conversation has nothing to do with why we're here.
Very well. So, what does he want you to do? Why did he take your souls? It's not an easy feat to take someone's soul from them and still have them be functional. It's very powerful magic that has been cast upon you.
It is a
Not-
protection for us.
A protection.
Yes, a
Interesting.
protection.
From what?
Not sure how. I was a slave.
At some point, we're going to have to go. We are going to have to go into the nine hells, you see, and he thinks it would be better for us if our souls.
If you don't wish to tell me, fine. But
Very well, I will tell you. We are seeking out some of the priests of Nerul. We're working for some other factions and hoping you can steer us in the right direction.
Oh, really? And why would I do something like that?
I don't know.
Not
Your
a-
son here seemed to think that you were intelligent and well connected within the city. However, I can see he was fluffing you up a little bit. So we should probably move along.
Possibly so. Possibly so. Well, son, I wish you the best of luck. Please, if you ever want to be serious about working for me, I can see what I can do about possibly getting your soul back for you. But until then, I have other things to do. And he gets up at that time and he starts walking away. And as he does that and starts walking away, one of the Simply Irresistible girls gets up in tow and follows him out. And as he does that, the owl comes and flies and sits down on the seat right where he was at. And then he just starts walking away.
Before he leaves the room,
Uh-huh.
I say, one more question.
Okay, he stops, but he doesn't turn around.
And I still just sit there, and I do have my my dagger sort of hidden in my cloak still. What happened to my mother?
Turns around kind of slowly and he looks at you and he goes, be more specific. What do you mean, what happened to your mother? I think you know quite a bit about what happened to your mother.
The night she was kicked out of the family, what happened?
Your mother was never kicked out of the family. She ran. She decided that the natives were not altruistic enough for her and her golden heart. So she decided to leave. And we let her go. Her and her bag of problems. It's just that simple, boy. Nothing more. I don't wish ill upon my sister. I loved my sister in a way. But
you did nothing to help.
what should I have done?
She was your sister.
That she was.
She was supposed to be your family.
And she still is.
No.
Yes, even though she's departed and no longer of this world, she will always be my sister. Just like you, dear boy, will always be my nephew. Whether you like it or not. That's just the reality of things. Is there anything else?
One day, Can I do an insight check on this guy first?
Sure, go right ahead.
17.
Oh, look at that there. Yeah, you pretty much think this guy's shooting it straight to you. You don't think he's lying or anything.
Why didn't no one ever try to look out for her or protect her?
We didn't know where she was at. By the time we did find out where she was at, well, you can thank your father for everything that happened after that. And she's an adult. What else would we do for her? She chose her path. She could have stayed. She could have remained in Haiti. She could have been with us as we commenced upon our diaspora across, I think I said that right, across the Bandit Kingdoms and elsewhere. But she chose not to. If she wanted to, she could have stayed here and by my side, or came here with me, I should say. But she didn't. I know you're looking for someone to blame. And I know. But unfortunately...
The name's Silverwolf. I get up and I walk out of the house.
Very well. And then he looks one more time at you, Rahly. Just...
Rahly bows dramatically low. Always a pleasure, Father. And he turns and follows Silverwolf.
And as you turn, then your father turns and walks away. And then as you guys are walking away, the owl like kind of flies up. Master Rahly comes flying over towards you. And it's like fluttering next to you. Are you planning on staying? And your friends, are they going to stay in the tower as well?
No, Owl. We're leaving.
Oh, what a shame. Things were always so much more livelier when you've been around. Very well. Well, have a good day. And he goes and he flies off. Now, the other Simply Irresistible girl is still there, watching you guys leave. She kind of like gets in a military stance, puts her hands behind her back. Is just watching you guys make sure everybody's walking towards the door.
All right.
Yeah, I'm already probably out by this point.
Your
Yeah.
family is weird. Rahly.
It's a wonder I turned out as well as I did.
Nordor grunts.
So Rahly gets outside and he messes his hair back up, and he's back to Rahly and he just stops and stares at his father's house for a long time. He looks kind of sullen. And after a long pause, he shakes his head and goes, "Really gonna miss that owl."
All right. So where are you guys going now? What are you doing?
Well,
Well, first of all, hold on a second. We're going to cut scene. So, Wyndon, tell me how you're putting the moves on Salas. What's going on over there, man?
Well, I'm not.
Come on!
He really is literally just practicing his marksmanship. He's focusing on being as fast as possible, and he's trying to work on getting off accurate shots as quickly as he can pull the bow, pull the arrow, and knock it in and shoot it.
He's
Man,
slow.
what kind of bandit are you? You're not even going to try and go through the medicine cabinet or anything?
He,
You're in the houses all over.
Wyndon has he's seen some stuff, and it was all magically related. So as sort of blasé as he is about most things, he's a little bit more hesitant about magic, and this place is entirely magical. So he's literally just working on his craft. That's what he's doing right now.
All right, fair enough. Okay, so what about the rest of y'all? What's going on? Where are we going? What's happening?
all right. What? I mean, it's still fairly early on. I imagine in the afternoon. We weren't there that long.
Yeah,
probably
no, you
like
guys
2
were-
o'clock or so, 2:30.
Yeah,
We need
it
to
wasn't
get
long
over
at
to
all.
the Green Eggs place and collect the information.
Yeah, and the money. That was for you, Wyndon.
Yeah.
But yet he's not there. So
Yeah,
does he get
well-
an equal cut?
Well,
I remember somebody taking 200 some odd gold off of somebody once.
Yeah, Wyndon took it off of me. Then Rahly took it off him. So.
Did I take it off you? I don't remember honestly.
Yeah, no, it was totally Wyndon. Wyndon, Rahly.
Yeah, exactly.
It was Rahly all the way, actually.
Yeah, it was. You see how Rahly did that though?
Yeah. We didn't know stealing from your teammates is not a great idea.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to stop and pick up a dagger and maybe some leather armor, but I don't have any money to do that. I have the one gold piece that Three Toes gave me.
Spend it wisely.
So,
Is there a gambling den around here? Maybe.
Oh
we
hell
could,
yeah, dude! There's gambling
work
houses.
to increase our profits by robbing one.
Yeah, the only reason you say that is because there'd be death involved. You gotta care less about robbing.
We'll probably have to kill someone.
all right. So we need to. As I guess we walk.
Need freeing.
Yeah, I'm sure. So why don't we head back toward Salus's house and pick up Wyndon, and we need to sort of iron out our plan. I mean, the book.
Yeah.
We have the book, and then we have the
Assassination.
the assassination, both of which we need to be at some place at 5:00, which is getting closer to that time.
Yeah, let's go ahead and say, because you guys headed over to Arver's house pretty early, right? It was
around noon.
Around noon. Okay, so for intensive purposes, we're just going to say it's 2:00, and you're at Salus's apartment again. Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
How was meeting your dad?
it was a fucking waste of time. I should have known.
Surprising.
You were right. You were right. Always listen to Wyndon. He knows all the stuff.
So we're doing the Kaz job, right? So
All right, so I have a question for the DM.
Okay, that'd be me.
Spencer and Arver, both like top 3 wizards in Rook Roost, both of a similar nature, artificer, enchanter, alchemist, that sort of deal. Is it reasonable to believe that they must have been rivals, right? It's not like, hey, we do the exact same thing, we're both very skilled, let's just be friends?
Well, yes and no. They're rivals to an extent in the fact that they both kind of, like you said, they kind of do the same kind of work. The difference is that where Fencer basically did all kinds of different stuff for whoever could pay him. Okay, Fencer's whole thing is, you got coin, we can do business.
Yeah.
Your dad, he's a little bit pickier. First of all, he walks around like an arrogant asshole because he's a Navy, and
Right.
talking about, well, I used to be in the Hone Society and all this bullshit. But he retained his services basically for more high-end people.
Okay.
And there is the basic word on the street is your dad is better than Fencer is. But Fencer's a hell of a lot more accessible. There's
Okay.
really that's what they say. Now, if that's really true, who knows? It's like you've seen your dad do some crazy shit. So,
Right. Okay. Thank you.
not a problem.
So, guys, I gotta. My brain's been doing some stuff.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. But what if we know where Fencer lives? Why don't we just go talk to him? Maybe he'll help us with the book. Maybe we can hire him to help us with the book, and then if he does, while we're taking the book, we can kill him.
So you think that he and the book are not directly connected then?
No, I think they are. I don't know, but I think wizard. I think book. I
Right.
see you've got a book. You know.
Well, I'm not a wizard, but yes, I do.
He thinks he's not a wizard. You're funny.
How we hire, we have little money.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's another excellent.
5,000.
I suggested how we can go collect some money.
How is
It'll
that?
be quick, it'll be easy.
Yeah, he wants to rip off one of the gambling dens.
Yeah, that's exactly what
So
he wants to do.
we're just going to put that idea on the back burner for now.
We might have to table that one,
Yeah.
so to speak. Yeah, they can
We hit them hard, we hit them fast, we kill a bunch of people. You guys can go collect some money if you want. It's not necessary.
The
So-
patient
so the-
hunter kills 2 wolves with 1 arrow, but the mistaken hunter can end up getting killed by both.
I
Oh, that's why we'll send you in first.
think I get the sentiment there. I mean, the thing, Rahly, is like Nordra makes an excellent point. It's I don't know the going rate for Fencer, or do I? Will would one of us know what Fencer's sort of baseline going rate is for different things?
Well, you know what? Just give me a history check.
Sure. Let's see here.
I mean, you never really would have had call
Yeah.
to hire him, so you're not sure, but you might have. Well, you've got a vague idea of what
Yeah.
he'd charge. I mean,
Alright.
it depends on really what you want him to do. It
Sure.
ain't cheap. You guys couldn't afford him currently.
Of course not. I mean, wizards. Any decent wizard could command their own price, especially if you want more and more esoteric stuff. But even a base consultation is probably more than we can pocket or
Well,
go out of pocket.
Oh, base consultation. They're not like injury lawyers, dude. You can't just walk up in there and go, "Hey, I need to talk to you about something."
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So the beauty of murdering someone is you don't have to pay them.
Is that
So we
true?
can promise him.
Well, what do we know about this Fencer guy? Is he good? Is he bad? Is he? I mean, he's
That's-
Rook.
He's a little reckless.
We
You
don't-
know,
He's a bandit.
He's a wizard. That's all we need to know.
Yeah. He is the epitome of a Rook Roost wizard. He is part of the Wizards Guild here too.
I mean, I see where you're going with Rahly, and I love efficiency, but I think in this case it might. I don't know if that's going to be a route we can actually go or not. I mean, we could always check in with Smokey Kaz and see what his take on that is, because he wants us to succeed, I'm assuming.
well, but then he'll know that we're in
Right.
contact with the wizard.
Yeah,
But-
you're right.
You're smarter than I am, so
Do
Maybe.
we benefit from Spencer not see us first before we kill?
Usually. That is actually a wonderful point. We do not want to make contact with the target. You lay in wait for a long time. You hit the target when he's not expecting it. You're successful. You walk
So
in,
true.
shake his hand, then try something. It never works. You would make a fair assassin. You're just a natural at this.
Or George just
Well,
looks
thank you.
perplexed.
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna being the DM and seeing how you guys probably don't want Salas to show up and remind you of this. Don't forget the long game.
Right.
Right.
That's
Okay.
what we need to figure out.
How
If we're
does
going to
all
go
this-
after one or the other, or if we're going to
Yeah.
try to play both.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it stands to reason that, I mean, nobody told us that the book needs a wizard or the wizard needs a book, right?
Correct.
One
Nobody
person
said
told
anything
us
like
to kill
that.
a wizard. One person told us to get a book. We go. This is my thought. We go down to the rotten egg or whatever the green egg.
Green egg.
Get our mission from from Smokey Kaz. It didn't seem like it was something that needed to be done right away. So we get our money, whatever he's going to pay us up front. We get the.
He won't pay us up front.
I don't think he's
No
going to pay
way.
us at all. Frankly, I just think
Well,
it's going to help us
He
get.
definitely won't pay us up front.
No, I just think it's going to get us back, and it's going to get us into better esteem with the outfit. But we go there, get our mission. Rahly gets the information from his mother, or we can split up and and do whatever.
Right.
Meet
We're gonna
back
have to
up.
split up if we're doing
Meet
both,
back
yeah.
up. Go after the wizard. Then go get the book. We've completed both missions. Nobody's given us any more details. So how are we supposed to? I mean, it's plausible deniability. We
Okay.
didn't know that they needed the wizard for this book.
I want to go. I think that's a good idea. We should split up though. Riley should definitely go with his mom, and I think I should go with you to Kaz, and we should have either Norjor or Three Toes go with Riley to his mom.
Well, Kaz is going to need 3 toes.
Right. Forgot about that. Okay, so yes, Three Toes definitely you and I, and maybe Norjor and Riley go to his mom. We find out whatever information we get out of our respective people. We meet up. Using that information, we decide exactly what our plan of attack.
Mm-hmm.
If we attack or hurt both organizations, how we get them to help us later with IUs?
Well, that's.
Yeah, we'll figure that out when the time comes.
I mean, that's. Norjor, you're thinking long game. I like it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to kill IUs.
He's thinking the long game. He's
I am
thinking
here
the long
to kill
game.
IUs.
So-
If we make everyone our enemy, how we kill IUs?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Maybe
I
we
think-
pick one side, help them take over, and then we use them to help us kill IUs instead of trying to be fancy and get ourselves killed.
Okay. So let's lay this out. We have got the outfit. We have
Correct.
got the people who Riley's mom is representing, who are kind of like what outfit wannabes, basically. Is that kind of
No. Basically,
Okay.
what
They're the
What
other power.
There
what
are
Raleigh's mom said was, "I've got a great way for us to get in. I'm already in tight with Aris and the Iusians,
okay?
but I need this to kind of seal the deal.
Got it.
And
Okay.
if you guys do that, then that'll help me and you, and we can all be working with Aris and the Iusians, and everything will be great, and the money will be flowing, and blah blah blah."
Yeah, we don't even know
So
how. I mean,
we
and-
not want help IUs, so we
Right.
sabotage their goal, not help them.
he's IU's enemy.
I do think.
Well, the rumor is that Aris wants to, because after the war and with the loss of the Fiends, because of the Crook of Row was used to get rid of them, that he thinks that if he takes over Rook Roost, that IUs won't be strong enough to come and unseat him again. That's the word on the street about what Aris wants to do.
Personally, I'd rather be on the side of the outfit. They have a lot of people. They're well organized in general. They have a lot of resources. I think we could use them to supplant, to cause trouble for IUs and his force.
Right, and there's no
If we-
fiends working with them. I mean, let's not
Yeah,
forget Aris. I mean, I'm not thrilled with working with Aris, and it doesn't sound like. I mean, it's not as sure of a thing. We know Smokey Kaz is fairly high up in the outfit. So that gives us potentially more access. We don't really know how close Savala is with Aris.
Sure.
And he's,
I say
he's a
if-
fiend.
So basically, I'm saying if we have to choose, I say we choose the side of the outfit. That's where I'm landing on that.
I agree.
That's my decision there. And we could always, go this path, and then something changes, a lot of circumstances down the road, we could be open to switching. But I think the outfit path seems the best.
Let me point out one thing. The outfit is Rook Roost. The Rook Roost is the Bandit Kingdoms.
Yep.
Aris is Iusian.
Right. Exactly.
There you go.
Yep.
You guys are a bunch of bandits from the Bandit Kingdoms, right? 3 of you guys are native Rook Roostians.
That's right.
Yep.
So
I mean, Smokey Kaz did kind of dick us over last time we were in a tavern for no reason. So, I mean, so
Although-
yes, I think
Technically,
Norjor
that
would
was
still,
Mathers.
would still
That
go
was
for
Mathers.
the
He kicked that
Bandit
off.
Kingdoms.
And that was because he was possessed or something too. I think we
He was
almost had
also
him on
just a
the side.
dick. He had it coming,
Yeah.
Oh,
so
sure.
I'm not.
But yeah, all right. I say we.
But again, I agree. I think we do need to be cautious because I think Norjor makes a good point that we don't know what Smokey Kaz's end game is.
Sure.
Right.
It could be to lead us into a trap to, because
Well, all this stuff is starting to become conjecture, though, guys.
yeah.
Yeah, it
So
is.
it's like,
Yeah.
Let's
I'm
go
just saying
do
be
something.
careful.
Which
That's
one you
all.
doing?
I think we should go to the outfit, but I'm just saying
I
we need to be
agree.
careful.
I trust.
Alright.
I trust no one anymore. Nordra looks pretty darkly, and then
Sorry,
like, he
Nordra.
narrows his
I know.
eyes, and then like just looks at the floor, all dejected.
Perfect. You are learning. I'll have you trained in no time.
So
Okay,
yeah,
so-
let's go see Kaz. Rahly, I mean, if you're free to go see Mom if you want, but I don't think it's the best way for us overall.
I will, just because it keeps our options open, and it doesn't take all 5 of us. But I think you guys are right. I think you're all very, very smart guys, and it makes a lot of sense. Let's
If we want to hurt, I use friends. Because once I use friends, I never trust. Then maybe we tell them we do job, and then don't do job so they not hire someone else immediately. Then
Yeah.
we can maybe buy some time, even warn target, and get more allies.
Your language skills are coming along there, Nordra. You're picking it up. Well done.
okay, so who's going to Raleigh's mom's? Besides Rahly.
I'm
Do
not.
you want somebody to go with you?
Are you
Yeah,
just
I mean,
gonna
Nordra would
No,
go
that's
with him if he needed someone else, but it seems like he's fine.
yeah. you guys
so-
are fine.
You 4 are going to go to Smokey Kaz, the other guy, and then Raleigh's just going to go see his mom. Is that
I think that sounds right.
okay? Do you guys want to do anything before you head out and accomplish this? I mean, you don't really have a whole bunch of time, but you have enough time that you can maybe do something.
I say, Rahly, give me my 6 gold back so I can go get another dagger.
And
Raleigh,
I actually reach into my
I don't know what
backpack.
you're talking about, friend.
One
But
of my
Oh,
We're
One of my
family. And he gives his
wrap
dagger.
daggers that are like wrapped in leather and this cloth and this fabric. It's very rust red. Hand it over to you and say, "Take care of it."
thanks. Oh,
okay,
I'll
you
do
guys
that.
are all in Salus's apartment while this is happening. And I'm
Have
just gonna
daggers.
I'm just gonna do this real quick for 1 second so I can just point something out to you guys. And right now, while you're in Salus's, I'm gonna say that you're back in the kitchen area again, or what can be construed as a kitchen, but the back area that was like her living quarters. Around the table that's next to the fireplace, that's kind of where you guys were hanging out. And then, so you guys are getting ready to leave. And you hear a slamming of a door upstairs.
oh crap. Anybody? I'll go take a look.
So you go over to the spiral stairs. You go up, and it's the same thing. It's the it's the room with all the trap doors in the ceiling and the pushable ladder on wheels, so that you can go underneath and climb up to it. And then there's the hallway with the 6 doors on one side, 6 doors on the other. Now, one of those doors is open. You go over
I'm
and
gonna
you
go over
take a
and
look.
take a look. Yeah.
Okay, you go over and you take a look inside, and now this is one of the rooms that somebody had stayed in before, and it had been a like a room at an inn or a tavern.
Mhm.
It's an armory.
What have they got? Anything good?
Well, I don't know. What are you looking for? It's got all kinds of weapons. There's like bows and swords and halberds and glaives,
got 'em.
and suits of armor and daggers and arrows and bolts and
I mean, a longsword would be nice, and maybe
Yeah,
some
there's
set
a
of
longsword
studded
in there.
leather armor. Do they got any?
yep,
I want
that's
some
in there too.
leather armor too.
I call down to the other guys and say, if we need to restock, it seems like Salus is helping us out a bit.
Don't forget to tell them about something that Salus left for you there, Wyndon. You remember what that was?
A bell, right?
You got it.
Yes, that's right. It was a bell.
Matter of fact, when you guys were all sitting around that table and whatnot, there's a little, it's just like a little brass bell. Just a little just ding-a-ling-ling-ling,
I
sitting on the
haven't
table.
told them because I don't want Rahly to start just ringing it willy-nilly. So I haven't really mentioned it.
Well, surprisingly, because everybody's been so intensely talking about what they're going to do, nobody even noticed really that bell was on the table. It was like in between the salt and the pepper shaker. So, now if you want to tell them about that, go ahead. If you don't, it's totally up to you. So,
I think I'm good at the moment, though. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So asides the studded
ask you a
leather and the
question.
longsword, sure.
If I'm using two weapons,
Correct.
one has to be small, or do they both have to be?
Both have to be small unless you have the two weapon dual
Yeah, I
wielding
don't.
feet.
Instead of doing that, I did the
Yep.
the other thing instead. So
So they both have to be light weapons then.
yeah, I'll just take the armor.
Okay, so you take the armor, and Wyndon, you're going to take some studded leather then too. Is that what
If
you're
it's there, I would definitely take that.
Yeah,
Yes.
and this is too when you go up there and you take a look into this room. This room is far bigger than it should be. Yeah,
Right.
and there's like it's not like one or two things. It's like this is an armory that you would basically find at a keep or a fortress for the complement that guards whatever that place is. So,
Cool.
anybody else want to procure anything while they're there?
I'll go and collect a couple 3 daggers to replace those that I've dropped along the way.
Okay, then that's not a problem. You can go ahead. Now these, of course, I'll save
I already
anybody
had
from.
studded leather armor.
Well, then, all right. Well, this other studded leather is way more fashionable than that rinkety old stuff.
I mean,
they
I
got.
could probably use a new set. It is a little old.
This
and
is
dirty.
clean. It's not. It's well oiled. It's not like half cracked and stinky from living in it for 6 months.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, if basically you guys can outfit yourself with basically normal stuff that you would find out of the player's handbook. So,
Cool.
All right.
so that's about
As
it.
they're doing that, Rahly says that material possessions are a prison, and he leaves.
Excellent, as he should. Okay.
I do offer a.
Instead, I'm gonna pick up a
dagger to
chain shirt
everybody,
instead.
though.
I'll take your dagger.
One of my
Yeah.
special ones with the red leather, the rust red leather handle. I
Okay.
offer them around to anybody who will take one.
And then I should
Oh, yeah, I
mention,
already took
Rahly
Wow,
takes,
crickets, man! I
I
don't
already
think
took. I already
anybody's.
took one. I already took one.
Yeah.
He offered
Yeah,
me
Yeah, I'll
one.
definitely, sure. If he's offering, I'll take one. Sure. I'm sorry, I was
Um,
trying to get my sheet to update.
No, that's all right. Raleigh,
I'm
do you
picking
want-
up a chain shirt
No,
instead.
Rahly's gone, and he's taken off sprinting towards the roach as quickly as he can.
Okay. All right. So that being the case, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take care of what's going on with you first, just so we can get that up and out of the way. You go down. You're just booking it.
Poking it.
You get down towards the Dead Man's Gate. Again, they don't stop you. Let you. You just.
Hey,
go
he
straight
stop.
up.
I stop on the way through, and I'm like, I'm gonna be back in like 20 minutes. I'm not fucking paying. And
And when you say that, all the guards laugh. Both the guys for the Rook Roostian dudes and the guys that are repping the outfit, they all just start laughing and laughing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll see you when you get back.
I'm gonna have 3rd level spells someday, motherfuckers. I'm gonna light you all on fire. Nope. All right, let's go.
No metagame.
You don't believe you have magic.
That's
Yeah,
right.
you don't believe you have magic.
All right, so you go out, go past the guards. They're all still snickering and laughing and having a good time. That was the best thing to happen to them all day on the watch at the gate. You go into the Stomping Roach. Stomping Roach is a little bit more lively. Now, it's still before 5. Are you just going to hang out before 5? Because remember, it was just 2 o'clock when you guys were there. I'll be generous and say you burned a whole hour doing all that different stuff, and I'll even say you burned another hour and say it's 4 o'clock now and you're at Stomping Roach.
All right, I'm trying to track her down as quickly as I can. So I'm looking for anybody, maybe the panhandlers that she was with before. If anybody, like, talk to whoever I need to.
Let's be honest. You're not going to recognize those guys. You're Raleigh, but
Yeah,
you
that's
do
true.
recognize the big stinky guy behind the bar with the wooden leg. He's there.
Right, he was nice.
He was nice to
Um,
you. He knows who you are. You know who he is too. He's Did we give him a name? I thought we did.
I don't believe so. I didn't write it down. If we did,
Okay, so you tell me what's his name. I don't think I wrote it down.
he kind of feels like a Jimbo.
He's a Jimbo. He's somebody who's run stuff with your mom in the past, but obviously the years have caught up with him, and he's lost a leg and he's gained a lot of weight. So
I throw a gold piece down on the counter, and I'm like, I need to find my mom.
Yeah, right. Oh, you need
Time would be better.
He looks up like he's looking at the sun inside. She'll be back in a while, I guess. She's not here now. She's out doing what.
Rahly takes the gold back.
Well, that's just rude, Rahly. I mean, I told you.
I'm not giving money away. I need to find her.
Oh, hey, by the way, she left something here for you.
All right, what does she got?
He reaches under the counter and he brings out a bag, like a really beat up, stained leather bag, and sets it on the counter. That. Promise me not to look in it.
He dives right in and starts looking through it, kind of frantic.
Okay, there's some papers in there with all kinds of different stuff written on it. There's an iron key, and there is a glass eye.
Well, all right. He starts reading the papers. He gives one of the papers to Jimbo. He's like, read that. And
okay. He just picks it and puts it in front of his face.
Out loud, Jimbo. Out loud.
I can't read, Rahly. He gives me back the paper. Sorry.
All right. So Rahly reads them as quick.
You can tell what they are as you flip through them and whatnot. It's basically like there are a bunch of hand-drawn different maps and of Fencer's Tower.
Okay.
So it's sort of like, go in here. There should be this here. Bad thing may be here. We think there's like a crude picture of this tower, and on the outside there's like, and it's written on the paper with an arrow pointing towards the top. We think he lives up top. There's the door at the bottom with another. Yeah, there's another arrow pointing to the door.
I really regret not taking on this job, guys. These guys seem super competent.
Is it written in crayon?
This is the one.
No, it's written in charcoal. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So Rahly then takes off back through, and he wants to go scope out the tower before he needs to meet up with everybody.
Excellent. So how much you paying the guards at the gate?
He's running.
You're gonna run?
No, he's not. He's whatever they shake me down.
Come on. Well, since you said you weren't gonna pay, they're gonna shake you down for 10 gold. And the thing is, this is the first time you've seen both the Rook Roostian guards and the outfit guys. They're all together. They're like one unit. It's like the good old days. They're like, hey, here's that guy. Okay. All right, hook it up. 10 gold.
Rahly kind of considers things for a moment. He gives him the 10 gold.
Then they laugh again, and they actually split up the gold, 5 and 5, and they go laugh and had to get.
He does make a point to remember a couple of faces, though.
Right. Okay. And you brought a lot of joy to a lot of men this morning, or this afternoon, I should say. Okay, so you're gonna go check out that. Go by where Fencer's Towers is at, unless he moved.
Okay.
You know where that place is. So, okay.
Oh, shit, guys. Maybe we should have sent someone with Rahly. He's
Nah.
gonna try to straight on his own.
He needs adult supervision.
Yeah, I know. Seriously.
Right?
I
Okay, so now we're gonna go and cut back over to you guys. Okay, you're going down to the Green Egg. You guys want to kill some time, and so that you show up at 5. That's when you're supposed to be there. You're gonna go early, eat. What are you gonna do?
Get there early and get a good table and get a good tab going.
If we get there early enough, we could maybe even see where Kaz is coming from, or get an eye on.
Maybe.
I mean, we can
Not bad
also
to
ask
be early.
around and talk to people, right? Like, you could also talk to, like,
Sure.
the innkeeper and see if they have any information about what's going on with IUs in general.
Yeah, you guys can totally do that. Okay,
I mean,
so
Mojo's not going to, but maybe someone else can.
Okay, so you guys, went ahead and I switched over the map. It's the green egg map. Okay, I'm gonna take away. Okay, delete your guys' two, because I don't know if it'll still let you be able to control them after. Okay, so Nordor's on there. You can move your guy around. Find Nordor.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, cool. Everybody, just go ahead and drop your guys in. Make sure you can move them around. And it's before the dinner rush, so it's not very busy in here. I'm not going to bother to put out any other tokens or anything, but whoa. You guys haven't been seated. Nice try.
Not that
You got to make it past Julie, and she's right here. So you guys come back in. Now, you changed your armor out, right, Silverwolf?
I did. I still have my old ratty cloak. I didn't have really time to wash
Yeah.
up, but
Right.
I've
So
got a
you look
chain
a
shirt
little
now
bit
instead
better.
of the.
You look a little bit better. So you guys come in. So how
Actually,
much?
before we go in, I pull out my bottle of perfume, splash everybody real quick so they all kind of
Nice.
smell better. And this
Well,
is a
Wyndon's
classy
actually,
establishment.
Wyndon's
Everybody,
very
try
hygienic.
to put on your good manners.
Right. No, I know. Yeah. Wyndon's hygienic. Silverwolf, not so much. And I don't expect. You know what? I would have to say Three Toes definitely comes across as a slightly hygienic kind of guy. I don't see him being really filthy or anything like that. And
The scent would give me away when I'm hiding, so.
right, exactly. And I just
Practical reason for it.
I assume that Nordor just smells like sandalwood all the time, right?
Mhm.
Is that pretty much?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, that's
He
what I
smells like the forest. He smells like gin or something like that.
There you go. Okay, cool. All right, that works.
Yeah, so does
Okay.
Three Toes, but for a different reason. He's
Right.
been he's been drinking gin.
Okay, so you guys come in the front door, and Julie's there, and say, "Oh, what a pleasant surprise! Hello again."
Say hi. We'll take our usual table, and I start to walk.
Wait,
toward
wait,
where we were sitting
wait,
before.
wait! I have something for you.
I'll stop.
And then she looks at Three Toes and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, it's for him."
I would expect it would be.
Yeah, and she pulls out, because it's going to be all top secret esque, like a big envelope, and she hands it to you. She goes, "This is compliments of Mr. Kaz.
Excellent.
Now, would you like to?"
Is there anything to
To
go
die?
with it as I kind of hefted a little bit?
No.
Seems
Yeah,
to be
and it's
missing something.
it's not heavy, and it's definitely just got some kind of papers in it. That's about it.
Seems to be missing something. Are you guys sure you have everything back there?
That's everything that Mr. Kaz gave me to give to you.
I see.
Yeah. So, if it's missing something, unfortunately, you're gonna
Now,
have
if
to take that
you're
up with him.
lying, of course, he's going to know about it.
Why would I lie?
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Julie,
Huh?
was it?
Why, yes, it is. Handsome.
It's very nice to meet you. I believe my compatriots and I are happy to just take a table and perhaps have some slight appetizers while we wait for Mr. Kaz.
Oh, Mr. Kaz probably won't be in tonight,
Oh, I see. Okay.
but you're welcome to. He left specific instructions that you're to be able to eat for free within reason.
Yes.
Until he's able to meet you again. He said that you'll know when that will be, whatever that means.
Nothing like a cryptic message.
I know, right? There's lots of those around here when you work for the, green egg.
Of course.
Would you
So,
gentlemen
yeah.
like to sit down and eat, or
That
Is
would
there
be
a private
delightful.
room?
actually there are private rooms upstairs, and you know what? We would prefer that you go to one of those.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Who do we see in like kind of the common area right now? Like obviously, I assume this guy is not there because that looks like Smokey Kaz.
Yeah.
Yeah, those two guys standing right there, Smokey Kaz and Pete, they're not there.
Son of a bitch. They're right here the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, they're just standing there with their arms crossed, all pissed because Julie can't see them.
Is there
They've been
anyone
waiting for a table
who
for an
Got the
hour.
guest
looks
visibility
right.
of themselves.
anyone who looks important or shady?
Yeah.
Actually, no. These all look like merchants.
Okay,
For the most
that's
part.
all. That's all Norja needs to know.
Yeah.
To be clear, he's been doing the whole disguise thing this whole time, so he's got the big cloak that's covering
Right.
his head.
I assume as much unless you say different.
Yep.
So.
Just
Anybody
wanted to be
gambling
clear.
that we can see?
No, there's no gambling in the Green Egg.
Okay, that's fine.
And
It's a children's book, dude.
Yeah.
No
Would you
gambling in children's books.
Would you gentlemen follow me, and I will take you to one of our private rooms upstairs. She starts walking. She goes, "Get out of the way, Kaz!" And she'll go and she'll lead you upstairs. There's no map for upstairs, so don't worry about it. Essentially, there's like a big banquet hall. I don't know if you remember how I explained it. Like the center is a big banquet hall, and then there's private rooms around the outside of it. So she just takes you up to one of these private rooms, opens up the door, lets you in. There's a long table in there, 12 chairs. It's already set up with like water and wine and things along these lines. She goes and opens the shades so some sunlight can come in. And at that time, then she turns around and goes, is there anything in particular I can bring you, gentlemen, or would you just like whatever's on the menu for the day? Excellent. I'll go and I'll get that. So she leaves and she just starts.
One more question about the common area when we were there, because Nordjor's not saying anything. He's just like watching and observing. There didn't seem to be anyone who was like eavesdropping or like listening on our conversation or paying this particular attention to us, was there?
Well, yes and no. I mean, it's sort of like, you know how it is like if you go into a restaurant and you come in through the front door and there's all the tables there, people turn and they look.
Sure.
You know, you guys look like, I mean,
Bandits.
yeah, but I mean, where you're at and who owns the place,
Yeah,
you
we're
know,
in Bandit Central here.
they look at you and it's like, yeah, I could take them. And then they go back to, and these are merchants, you know, so, and then they go back to just eating. I mean, it's,
Okay.
it was nothing.
That's totally fine. I'm okay with like someone seeing us. I'm just more concerned about like people being particularly focused on, like, we're trying to run a stealth mission here, presumably.
Correct.
So ostensibly we're trying to be low key about it, and no one's talking at the top of their voice at, you know, Janice or whatever her name is. We're trying to be subtle, I was assuming.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're fine. There's nothing bad going on. It's just like nobody's staring daggers into you. There's nothing tipped its hand. You guys feel like everything's fine. Cool. So everything's good.
Okay. What's letter say?
Okay, as you guys are doing that, when you say that, there's like a tap, 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 tap on one of the windows.
Oh, that's unusual. Are we above the first floor, or are we still on the ground floor?
No, you guys are on the second floor.
I'll get out
All
the
right,
ball.
I'll-
Somebody open the
Yeah,
window. I'll be ready to smash him if
You
it's
guys
if
actually,
it's a
you guys can
problem.
look over because she opened the blinds to let the light in, and you guys look over and there's a little bird, like flying at the window, just like hovering outside the word, like a finch, and it like fly up and it taps the window with its beak.
And
And that's a glass window.
Yes,
That's adorable.
I
All right.
I would
I'll go over it.
Nordjor would definitely walk straight over to the window and open it up.
Yeah, I'll put the
And-
ball away.
He would say, because I can communicate to it, even though
Correct.
I can't understand it back. I would be like, "Are you okay?"
and the bird flies in and it flies around your head for a second, Jordan, and it lands on your shoulder, and it seems happy. And it starts singing for a second, and then it like hops up a little bit closer towards your ear, and it starts just chirping away to you. Chirp, 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 chirp,
I have my
chirp,
bow
chirp,
out
chirp,
with
chirp,
an
chirp.
arrow notch pointed right at it.
Nordjor's like glaring daggers at Three Toes. He's like, "No."
And surprisingly, as the bird is chirping and chirping into your ear, it starts to morph, and the chirps start to change, and they start to take on a voice. Now the rest of you guys, all you hear is chirp, 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 chirp. But you hear, Nordjor, the sound, and you think it sounds like the elder of your tribe.
Oh, okay.
And
What is he saying?
continue. Ulash seems pleased. Says that a couple of times, and then the bird gets up, flies around your head a couple of times, flies out the window.
So does that happen to you a lot there, or?
Now, do you remember who Ulash is?
Ulash, I don't. Ulash is that like the actual source in the Tangles?
Ulash is the Great Spirit.
Yeah.
That's what you guys call it. You give it a name so it has a presence and whatnot. Ulash is the presence that is within and binding within the Tangles itself.
I mean, Nordor was going to continue anyways, but he's just like, oh, well, at least something good is coming out of this, and he'll seem a little bit like higher spirits than usual, Nordor. He hates being in the town, in like
Right.
civilization. So this is generally unpleasant to him. He tries to be quiet and just like not be noticed. But
And actually, the finch isn't going to fly out because it's just a little thing. It's actually going to it'll like fly around your head a little bit, and then it's gonna get on your shoulder again, and it's gonna go and it's gonna climb and get like up into your beard.
Oh,
And,
okay.
and kind of like chill.
Nordor's cool with that. He's like, he'll say, "Message from Elder, all is well."
I don't
Well,
believe it. You talk to
convenient.
birds now?
So it's like some form of communication with tweeting, huh?
Well said, sir.
So Nordor will like kind of redirect the conversation back to Three Toes and be like, "Letter, what it say?"
I think we should discuss it elsewhere. This place is way too public with this bird here. Who knows if the eyes, ears are here.
Nordor narrows his eyes and say, "Bird can be trusted."
And like answering him, he goes,
And here I thought we were on a plane of understanding. Obviously, I was wrong. I actually put the envelope deep within my pockets.
"Okay."
I mean, we're probably going to need that information. And while we're waiting for Rahly,
Not while there's spies here.
You think the bird's a spy?
I've seen more than one operation fail because of unauthorized personages in the room.
It's a bird.
I mean, Nordor, would you mind asking the bird to step outside for a few moments?
Nordor will kind of like quirk his head to the side and just like doesn't really understand the paranoia since it's like his elders, birds message,
Right.
but he's fine. He's used to quirks, and Three Toes has many quirks that he's observed, so he's like, fine, it's fine, and he'll just say to the bird like, wait outside. You can come back when we emerge from the building.
And then it flies out the window.
Now that the scary bird is gone,
Can
we,
you search this room?
You can, if you guys want, you can search the room.
I'll help you, because if it gets us moving here.
what are we looking for? Like peepholes? Like what are
Souls, listeners, birds.
Yeah, I rolled a 2.
listeners?
Yeah, the door opens up right about now while you guys are looking around, and there's like two servants come in with food, and they put it out on the table and
These
off 2 big
servants?
trays.
Who do you servants work for?
They work for the
Oh my god.
probably.
The egg.
Nordor will
And-
say, "Do you want to open this at Silas's?"
Don't mention her name.
Yeah, he
These-
actually has a
the
good
two
point
servants-
there.
The two servants is at this point back out really quick and close the door.
Look, I searched this room up and down. I got a 2. There's nobody in here. The room is clean.
As far as you guys can tell, it's just
Yeah, I trust you. You 2 people looked already, so we good.
So, Rahly, where are you supposed to be meeting these guys afterwards?
Salus's, I'm assuming. If they're
Okay.
not there,
I thought
check
we
the
were
green
meeting
egg.
here. But we never
See,
actually figured that out, I guess.
We
Right.
didn't actually, yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna.
Salus's is on the way to the green egg, so I would just swing by, or whichever one is closer.
Sure,
Uh,
we'll say that. And for expediency's sake, you were hungry, and you're like, I'm gonna stop by the green egg anyway and get some sausage. And when you show up, you don't see anybody, but for some reason, Julie seems to think she knows where you should go, and she takes you upstairs and puts you in a room and closes the door.
Uh-oh. Three Toes.
See?
It's Rahly.
Another spy.
Are we in trouble?
Can we find out what the fucking envelope says?
I mean, I think if we're gonna kill anybody, it should be Three Toes just to see what's in this envelope.
Well, I sit down first and I pick up a piece of cheese and bread and whatever happens to be on the table, and then I reach into my pocket and pull out this envelope and kind of smooth it out and kind of give it a little inspection and glance over at Rahly and say, "You're a wizarding sort. Why don't you and this other wizard here get together and make sure there's no spells or enchantments on this
Not a
thing, and it'll
wizard.
blow up in our face."
I wish I was a wizard. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't
Rahly
even know
looks
what
at
to
it
look
and
for.
he's like, "Yeah, that's yeah."
You've got. You probably don't have prestidigitation or thaumaturgy or anything like that, do you, Rahly?
I have prestidigitation, yeah.
Dude, then you can do all kinds of magic. You can go poof, make a show of it.
Yeah,
Like,
that's like he can now obviously do magic. He is just unaware that is magic.
Wyndham will say, Three Toes, do you want me to like open it from a distance? Because I can do that.
That's a good idea. I've seen this kind of thing explode.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right. Put it on the
And
table.
I don't trust the person that we got it from.
Fair enough.
that's true.
Uh,
Okay,
so-
so
I'll put it down, and I have Mage Hand, so I can cast Mage Hand and kind of open up the envelope from.
okay,
It's a 30-foot range, so I'm sure.
Oh,
the
yeah.
probably not that big. So
yeah.
Yep.
Nothing happens. You open an
Yep.
envelope. There's papers inside.
All right, go ahead and pull them out gently, carefully.
You don't want to get a paper cut.
It's a mimic.
Roll deck save.
I'm just not very trusting of this person.
it's fair.
There is an address on a piece of paper. There's a note written underneath it stating that pretty sure front and back doors are trapped.
Okay.
Second story entry possibly better. That's it. That's all that's in the envelope.
Do we know where this address is in the city?
If you're a Rookrustian, you know.
Okay.
All right. And then nothing else at all in the envelope, just a sheet of paper with some minimal information. Not even
the
any
name of the book?
information on the name of the book or anything.
Nope.
I'm gonna hold the book up to candlelight and see if any secret messages appear anywhere on it.
It starts burning by accident. No, there's nothing there. It's just a piece of paper. It's just a piece of paper.
Thought I'd play a little spy game and didn't work out.
Yeah.
So where's the address at? Since we would know.
It's in the peak.
Oh fuck.
Like the peak.
Peak. Yeah,
And that's
I'll go
not
back over to
where-
Rook Roost.
As far as we're aware, that is not where Fencer's Tower is.
No, that is not where Fencer's Tower is. Matter of fact, it says essentially, okay, there is the Lord Marshal's Palace, and you see you got the Palace Guard Barracks, the Raven Square, okay, and there is actually an inn here called the Three Crown Inn. As you guess, that's pretty fucking exclusive. And it says basically on the, as far as the address goes, gray, brown, and red building next to the Three Crown Inn.
Okay. Now
So
we
this
would
right
know.
over here.
You got it.
They don't just let anyone stroll in the peak, right? Like
You
not
got
like
it.
the other.
I
not
think
like the
I
other
know a
warriors.
way in.
The sewers.
You
Everybody
got it.
flushed the damn toilet. And that was a very common method of moving around once upon a time.
Actually, you do know of an old way to get in there, and it actually is through the sewers.
Of course it is. We
God
knew this
damn
was
it.
coming.
Yeah, of course you knew this.
You know
was
what,
coming.
guys? Let's come back to Rahly's mom.
Yeah, I know, right? This is fucked up. I feel like we're getting railroaded, guys.
I know a
Oh,
way in. And I know how to get us in there. And it's not going to be pretty. But we'll be fine.
Yeah.
I have a bottle of perfume for a reason.
there you go. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to go ahead and take a short break. Then we'll get back to Three Toes' version of Mission Impossible and see about them getting into the peak and getting into this house. Woohoo!
All right. See you in a few.
All right, guys. See you in just a little bit, and we'll be right back.
And we're back.
Hello, welcome back. All right. Hopefully everybody is refreshed, refueled, and ready to go. Okay. I do have a question for Wyndon before we get any further in this. Do you have the bell?
Yeah, I have. I pocketed it out of me.
Okay. All right. That's all I need to know. Okay, so you guys, you wrapping up? You gonna finish your meal there at the Green Egg and go about your business? What's up?
Yeah.
Yep. go ahead and have a real light meal there, and
It's actually really good. They bring you up, like a nice spread of. There's like some, deer or whatever the fuck's around here. So,
and Three Toes is
Cheese
pretty
breads.
basic. Just some cheeses, some breads, pretty basic there.
A sausage or two.
Some fruits.
Yep, they got all that. So, all right. So you guys finish up eating, then you're gonna head on out. Where are you guys gonna go after that? You're gonna go back to Salus's place. You're gonna.
I say we just follow. Well, yeah, Raleigh's here, so let's just follow Three Toes' lead and get going on this thing. I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Wants
gonna
to wait till
I
dark.
know. It's gonna take us a while to get through the sewer, and we can hide in the sewer. It'll be fine. So we should move on.
Nothing about that sentence is fine, but sure, yeah.
I'm just glad. I'm just glad I haven't showered or cleaned up.
All right. All right. So Three Toes, where are you taking them?
I will take them to the place where I always went to when I wanted to go into the sewers when I was heading into that part of the city.
Okay. There is there's some twists and turns through some back alleys in the inner city part that you go through. It's not like run down or anything, but it leads to a because a lot of these places have like alleyways that are in the center too. I don't know if you're familiar with some of the older European type of places where all the buildings ring the side, and then there'd be like some courts and different things that you might find in the middle. These are more like just dirt, kind of like roads and different things. Well, not roads, but like paths that lead behind the houses. Lots of trash and different things is generally stored in, and there is trash and whatnot in these areas. But essentially, he leads you through and back into a particular area where most of the buildings that are the backs of the buildings that face into this area, there's not a lot of windows or anything along these lines. In the ground, this particular area that he leads you to, you can tell due to the construction at one point in time, this part used to be part of like a main thoroughfare, and then they built up houses around it. In the ground is a heavy, square, iron grate.
You did that all by yourself, Three Toes?
Yeah, we can just lever this up real quick and easy. Norger, he looks good and strong. Just go ahead and heft that up for us quick.
I'm probably stronger than he is, although I don't look it.
The upside is that Norger has benefits when powerful builds, so he can count as one size larger when determining your carrying capacity and the weight you can push, drag, or lift.
Okay, well, there you go.
So I'm basically a large creature when it comes to moving things.
Yeah, so you are the right one then.
There it is. And it's not extremely large. Like, it's gonna, for Norjor to fit down in, he's gonna have to kind of like snaggle and like then put his arms above his head and whatnot. But you other guys you'll fit in fine. Now, basically, you pull off this metal grate and you set it over to the side, and it's not like modern day sewer holes where there's like a ladder then that goes down in or any of that. It's just a dark hole. That's just, and I think let's see, Rahly and Silverwolf are the only two that have dark vision, correct?
That's right.
I don't
So I
have it.
just mentioned, as soon as Norjor picks up the grate, you are all just hit with this strong waft of lavender.
Aw.
Nice.
No, the
So
sewer
nice,
smells
Raleigh.
very strongly of flower.
All right.
Yeah.
While that's all happening, I go ahead and pull out the rope and secure it up to the hook or the eyelet that I know is there. Get everything tied up securely. Drop it on down.
Want me to
And
go first
say,
since I can see?
First.
I don't
That's
mind
probably
going
a good
first,
idea.
yeah.
Okay.
Norjor is gonna cast, going to like mumble some words under his breath, touch himself. And
Well, all right. Oh, and by the way, when you guys left the green egg and started walking again, little finch comes and flies around Nordra for a little bit, gets on his shoulder, hops its way up, burrows into his beard.
Nice. And he'll basically put his hands over his eyes briefly, and then they'll glow red, and he can see because he has dark vision now.
Nice.
Being human's the worst.
Okay, so
I'm gonna stealth too. I mean,
All right,
as
go ahead
quiet
and
as I can. Of course, the light is probably coming down from the sewer trap here, but even
Right.
so.
right, and you guys were taking your
17.
you guys were taking your turn, your time getting to this place. You kind of just were like moseying, because even when after you had left, it's not full on dark. Evening is starting to kind of come, and don't forget, it is starting to get later in the season. It's autumn essentially right now. So it's getting dark quick, but it's still kind of lit enough that where you guys could, like, even when you start going back through these back alleyways, it wasn't so much that you could, like, couldn't see where the hell you were going. So
Okay.
You drop down now. It goes down into the sewer essentially 10 feet. Okay. You get into the sewer below. It's not really big. Okay. The sewer itself is at best 5 feet wide.
Okay.
And the top is at best 6 feet tall.
All right.
Sorry, Nordra.
Yeah. You know what would be helpful if we were kobold size?
Yeah, I sure would be.
So Rahly hollers down, all good down there?
Yeah, I look around. Do I?
Yeah, there's essentially it's got kind of a curvature to the to the floor, not like super, but you can tell that it's designed for, when the water comes in, that it'll channel it in a certain direction.
Wait, so is there water next, I assume the walkway is like 5 feet, but is there water there or something?
Yep, and it's not very deep. It's only like like 2 inches worth of water. I mean,
I see. The water is on the same place as the walkway. It's not like there's a
Correct.
separate current.
No, it's not like some kind of fancy one where it's got a raised on the sides where people could walk or anything. This is essentially little more than a very small tunnel. It's not really designed for people to go through. It's just designed for the flow of the water when they have the squalls and thunderstorms, what have you, over Rook Roost. And that was one of the reasons why the kobolds are work in there, is because of the simple fact that for as big of a city as it is, the sewer system is not like top notch. It's really just designed for like getting rid of waste, because people still like chuck waste out windows and shit in this town. Most of the places here, the Peak's got plumbing pretty much, and a lot of different places in the inner city are going to have some sort of plumbing, but once you get out of the inner city into the outer city, and definitely the out wall, none of those places have plumbing at all. So
Right.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I yell back up, or not yell, but talk loudly enough that they can hear me. I said, "Yeah, it's clear right here. It's a little. It's going to be a."
Immediately jumps down. I don't know if I landed on Silverwolf, but no rope. He just jumps.
okay. You know what? I just have to do it. Go ahead and just give me an acrobatics check. Just for shits and giggles.
Doo-doo-doo.
Oh, okay, cool. You're good.
All right. I say, okay. Well, Rahly's here. I said, for the rest of you, it's a little. It might be a little tight, especially for Nordra. I don't know how tall Winded and Three Toes are, but it's only about a few inches. The roof is just a few inches above my head, so Nordra is definitely gonna have a tight squeeze.
Yeah.
I'll start climbing down the rope.
Okay.
And then I'm 5'11", so I'll have to probably stoop a little bit and be
It's
careful.
essentially 6 feet. So you're
Yeah.
you've got that whole sense like I'm gonna hit my head, I'm gonna hit my head, I'm gonna hit my head, and you like when you take one step, you kind of like feel your hair like scrape just ever so slightly, but that's about it.
Okay. And now is it pitch black down here then?
Oh yeah,
Right.
it's the only light. There's that little bit of light that
Right.
is essentially faded out almost to nothing.
I'll be like, remember guys, I can't see anything. So if we're not gonna have a light down here, I'm useless.
Yeah. I mean, we might want to. Is Michael talking?
Can't hear you, Mike.
Oh, sorry, I was muted.
Go ahead.
I was saying, yeah, we used to have little stones that were lit up, but they all seem to be missing here. So
You actually see. Okay, so when you go down in Three Toes, you can actually see because there's actually one of those little alcoves that you're talking about right there. And essentially, what you guys used to do back in the day is you'd have like those Everlight type of things, and there would be a cover actually that would go on top of it, a lead cover, and then when you would come down in, you could pull the cover off and it would light it up for you, and then you could just light as you would go. Now you just happen to look on the ground and there's that lead cover on the ground. It's just like a little dome that would go over whatever. Usually they would just have rocks that were lit, and then they would periodically change them out if they needed to. But like I say, yeah, that lead cover's on the ground. The stone's gone.
It's reassuring.
I mean, I don't know how many people are hanging out down here at the sewers at night. Well, actually, it's Rook-Roo, so who knows? Actually, I could be wrong on that. But so we could either do one of two things. Either we can, those of us who can see, take the front and the back. You guys go in the middle, and we'll sort of guide you down. And if we need to light up, we can light up. Or we can just
reasonable.
Yeah, or we can just. I mean, even lighting a torch down here is going to be tough with the small space.
It's gonna be rough. I think we should do that. The people who can see in the front and the back, those who can't right in the middle, and then I don't know what Nordra wants to do, but I know he can see right now, so wherever he wants to be.
I can be in the back.
Okay.
All right, I can go first. I don't mind. And then.
So
Rahly
Nordra,
and
you're
Three
basically
Toes.
what? You're bent over?
Yep.
Okay. I didn't know if maybe you would shape change or something like that, but
I'll think about it, but those are resources that he can't get back, and he's
totally understand.
trying to be careful.
Yeah, let's just put it this way, it's just going to be a pain in your ass. We'll just say that much. And nobody's going to really be able to get past you. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to be at the back.
Okay. All right. Now, Three Toes, you're going to be leading them, but you won't be able to see.
Right, so I'll just follow along whoever's actually able to see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, is there a
And,
reason why we're not using
guide
torches?
them.
We want to be stealthy. Is that like, do we expect there to be things down here?
A torch down here would
Absolutely.
be like a beacon for anything that's down here probably
Yeah,
can
but
see in the dark anyway.
this is supposed to be a sewer, right? Like,
There's rats down here. You don't like rats.
I don't mind rats. I can talk to rats.
Some of my best
think
friends
There's
are
worse
rats.
things than rats down here.
What are you
if you
talking
don't
about? He
wanna
talks with
call
you
them.
guys all the time.
As much as I
Yeah.
hate being blind, I think for now at least we should play it stealth, and then like Silverwolf said, if some sort of confrontation happens, we could light up something. But for now, I think under dark is the way to go.
Okay, so you guys are all down in there, and
Right,
essentially,
arrow, shoot if you need to, but let's hold that in reserve.
right. So essentially, Silverwolf's going to be leading the way with Three Toes right behind him, and Three Toes is going to be you two are going to be talking to each other. You're going to tell him, okay, keep going this way, and then you're going to want to go this way, so forth and so on. Okay.
Then
You
I want
guys
to try
are
to keep like a
stealthily,
lookout for stealthily and
Yes.
keep a lookout for for anything that I can see as far as I can anyway.
Right. Everybody, go ahead and give me a stealth roll.
Since we're in the dark,
Shit.
putting advantage.
Natural one.
I'm sorry. What'd you say, Michael?
Since we're in the dark, would that give everybody advantage?
No, not really, because it's more of a trying to keep from splashing around and what have you.
Fine.
It's more a thing of just trying
Wow,
to not
I'm
make
the only one
noise.
who rode really well, and probably did well too.
Yeah, I could not have done worse.
Yeah.
I was
And-
trying for some advantage here, but
Yeah.
It was a nice effort.
Now, I mean, Norjor, it's understandable. He's all like, his fucking arms are dragging on the ground and stuff because he's got to bend over so much. Wyndon, surprisingly, he can't see, but he seems to be. He's got this whole kind of like shuffling his feet sort of thing going on. He's doing pretty
well,
good.
then Silver Wolf and I are up there talking, so
Yeah,
Exactly.
hard to
That's
things
another
in your
thing.
chat.
Yeah. Which way? Which way
Yeah.
now? Are
Yeah.
we left?
Well, the
No,
stone
straight.
looks
Okay.
like an elf looking at you. Not the elf looks away at looking at you.
Totally. Okay, so you guys start going. You're heading down. It's a couple of twists, a couple of turns. You come to a couple of T-bones, and you say, okay, to go to the right. And then, you're getting really close. You're getting to where the wall would be for the peak. And Silverwolf, there is a grate in front of you, an iron grate.
All right. I mentioned this quietly to the group. Actually, I just say there's a grate.
And
A little louder than I probably should.
Three Toes, back when you used to run here, no grate.
All right.
Somebody's obviously upgraded the defenses down here to an extent.
So
Anyone have
we
a
need
crowbar?
to inspect it.
I'm sorry, what?
I said, yeah. So somebody needs to inspect it. There's a what kind of a locking mechanism does it seem to have? I ask Silver Wolf.
All right, I'm gonna look at this. This is
Okay,
not my
so-
specialty, but
No, it's pretty simple. You take a look at it. This thing is not designed to be opened.
another natural one.
This is all right. So this is basically what it goes. It's a fucking grate. What do you mean?
I got a
Inspect it. It's
a
metal. It's
zero.
a grate.
Yeah, no, there's no
How
way to
that
open.
get the walls? Is it freshly set in? Has it been there a while?
It looks
How-
like, I don't know.
is
It
it
seems like this has
is
always
it
been here
locked
forever,
in?
and it'll never be opened.
How,
It wasn't
How-
here just a few years ago, so this is pretty new.
I'm pretty sure that this whole tunnel was built around this grate.
how big?
Rahly
is
just kind of peeks his head over, and he's like, "It's right." What is it, Will?
Okay,
Still great.
It's a wrought iron grate, crossed off in sections. It's the flat bars. It's not like circular bars, but it's like the flat bars with the big old rivet in between. The bars then go out towards the side and then turn so that they're flat, and then those are riveted into the walls.
There's no locking mechanism. Then it's just a grate right
Yep.
against the wall.
Just a great. You can tell there's all kinds of like garbage and filth that's kind of collected up down around the bottom. You would suspect that there should be more, but obviously the kobolds, tend to do a good job down here. And you're surprised that there's even as much there is right now. Maybe if the kobolds had a problem taken care of for them, they would have got that too. But you never know.
Feel better.
So the space of the grate itself, like can kobolds fit through that, or is it still too small for even a kobold?
It's too small for a kobold. Whoever put this in place, obviously, it's made to make sure that nothing halfling size or larger could get through these bars.
Yep.
Or just great, I should say, because they're not really bars, but
Well,
What's taking so long? What's going on up there?
there's apparently. Well, I can't see it.
There's a
I'm told
grate.
that There's a grate in the way.
So break great.
I mean, does anyone have a crowbar?
I do have a crowbar on me. Yes.
Can I borrow it?
Of
I
course.
also have one.
okay.
Go.
You guys
Alright.
going to work at it in tandem?
Yeah.
You guys can.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Actually,
we
who's the strongest one? Because I'm pathetically weak.
I'm
well,
not
that would
strong.
be the guy who's at the back.
I'm pretty strong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
no,
that's fine. I'm
Well,
fine with
if-
Silverwolf doing it.
Silverwolf.
If
Yeah.
Silverwolf and Three Toes, if you guys both work at it, we can go ahead and give advantage to Silverwolf working on the. On
All
the
right.
So is this
So-
just straight strength or
A-
athletics?
athletics.
Mechanically,
Athletics.
mechanically, a crowbar actually gives advantage. That's what it does on strength checks.
So I get to
does it?
do it 4
Yeah.
times and add up the highest 2.
Yeah, if only. Actually, let's put it this way: the fact that you have a crowbar is going to allow you to possibly do this.
That's
Okay.
fair.
Nordor will mutter some words under his breath, and a ball of flame will appear in his hand that gives off light. So
Okay.
because Three Toes can't technically see to really be of assistance. And since we're gonna break down a fucking grate, he doesn't think that the stealth is going to really be successful regardless at this point. So
Well said, sir.
holding
Well
the-
said.
He's just holding the fire
Yeah.
out.
Okay,
All right, here we go.
let's see it, baby.
19.
Oh.
Not a problem. So basically, you stick that bar in there, and then you start just hammering back on it. And Three Toes, you notice, how he's working. It's like, well, maybe if I put it over on this side and pull it there, and then like 3 of the rivets that keep the grate over on the one side just pop right out. Bang, 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 bang. And so the gate, that grate now is loose, and it's like, but it's still in there.
All right.
Gonna need another one.
We're gonna need it. It's still with advantage.
Still with advantage.
All right, come on. Oof, 12. I'm getting a little tired.
Yeah, you're working it again. You get another one of the bolts that's into the wall loose, but it doesn't pop out like those first 3 just came like bam. That one, it's like
Yeah, give it a shot again.
Can people squeeze through?
no, it's not bent enough like that.
Doesn't matter. This
Rahly
isn't like
steps up
time
as a-
sensitive. We can just keep going, guys. There's no
Yeah,
rush.
Yeah.
all right. I mean,
Keep trying.
Try
Unless
again.
Silver Wolf is too tired.
this is not an easy thing, but I'll keep going.
You can do it. You got
It looks
this.
easier than it is. All right, guys. There we go. 23.
Okay, you got it. At that point, basically, again, you
I'm
put
getting
it in-
angry from the.
There's a couple more pops, and it's like essentially the whole one half of it pops out, and you're able to start pulling on it and pulling on it and pulling on it, and it's enough now so that the humans can squeeze through and get onto the other side, and the half elves. So essentially, what's going to happen is it's going to come. You're going to come up to it, Norjor, and you're going to have to basically give it a pull to get it the rest of the way off, so that you can
The
get.
rest of us on the other side can be pushing, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely going to be an advantage roll, so that's not a problem. The DC is going to be kind of low.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm just
there's
hoping
no,
that somebody
there's no way for
slips.
me to build in my powerful build into my athletics check, so that's fine.
No,
I'll
but
just
I'm taking
roll
it into
athletics.
consideration, so
Got
don't
it.
worry about that.
Oh, jokes. And on the other side, does it look the same as it did on our side?
Yeah, totally, and that's enough. The 12 is
Okay.
enough. So you basically now here's the thing though. You guys just made a shit ton of noise doing
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
Sure did.
So you're able
Aware
to
of that.
pull it.
Plus,
pull it
there's a
loose.
light.
Right. And so if there was anything in the sewer up ahead of you guys, it definitely would know that you're here, and it would definitely know what the fuck you were doing too. So you get that, and it's pushed to the side. You guys go back into you're in your same order, and you continue on now with light so that you can see. So where's this lead to in the peak there, Three Toes?
well, I think let me
It's
see
not
this.
right next to the Three Crowns. We will establish.
It actually is right next to the house next to the 3.
Yeah,
right? I'm
Their
going to
basement.
say
He's
probably.
actually up into a P that's outside of a much more seedier for the area seedier tavern. It's still very nice by this area standards, but
And
just a little bit further to the north there somewhere.
That's right,
kind of
because the only other tavern that's
Yeah.
actually in the peak isn't really so much a tavern as it is where all the palace guards go to eat and drink.
But this is the privy that's outside. So
Yeah, it's not. You're not going into that actual place, but you're like, the best place is where they wouldn't expect you to be. So it kind of it lets out the same thing. There's a great.
Oops, we lost Michael.
I lost Will.
I don't
Yeah,
hear
I
Yeah,
mean,
Will.
I'm sorry, I
lost
said Michael.
Will.
I meant Will.
Looks like you guys lost me.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're back
Okay.
now.
I'm back. Okay, so essentially, it's a grate that lets out behind where this place is at. So it's in behind there. Now the problem with it is that as you're starting to look at, there's the grate again. It's same thing, heavy iron grate just sitting in the ground. It obviously hasn't been used for quite some time. And it looks like with a lot of rust and what have you on it, so it's quite possible that it might make some noise if things aren't done correctly with it.
I'm sure it'll be done correctly.
I'm sure it will be. Oh, look, Jerish, you're Will and DM. All right, man. I'm Norjoy. Fuck all you. I kill you. Flaming hands. No, Thunderwave. I'm on Thunderwave.
Right. Everybody's back to where they belong now.
Does anybody have like any extra cloth or fabric on them? Like I don't know that we could try to use to wrap around some of the edges of this, at least dampen the sound that it might make.
Does anybody have a burglar's pack?
I know that Raleigh's not going to sacrifice any part of his coat, so that's fine.
Well, I have my regular
Does he have
clothes. I mean, I'm wearing my dark clothes right now, but we can certainly have my regular.
Oh, we
clothes.
also have what do you call we have those robes or cloaks.
Yeah, I'd like to not ruin those yet, if at all possible. But yes,
I agree. But if
I have giant boar pelt.
giant war pelt.
boar.
Oh, just carrying that around?
Yeah, I mean, you've probably actually seen Nordor
Yeah,
wear it once in a
that's
while.
fair.
Yeah, like as a mantle sort of thing.
Okay, are you willing to give that up, Norjor?
For the time being.
You not cut it.
No. Okay.
Fine, that's fine.
All right. Is there any way? Well,
And nobody has a burglar's pack.
I don't.
Okay.
Three Toes
I
doesn't
do
have burglar's
actually,
pack?
but
Okay.
I do actually, but I don't know what you're thinking.
Okay.
of.
So as part of this burglar's pack, this is actually something that is pretty common with if you're burglaring places. You need to quiet things up, and you've actually got inside of a oil rag a ball of grease,
Oh, nice.
just for such occasions.
For just such an occasion.
All right. Yeah, I'll pull that out and start
I know it's
to-
not on the
Yeah.
DMG thing, but it makes sense for you to have one like that.
Like it.
Oh yeah, I can pull that out and start to apply it to wherever it would make sense to put it. In my vast experience.
Okay, so you get it, and you slather the sides of it, and you try to like reach your fingers up around through the grate and onto the side, and you're trying to get it into the cracks and what have you. So basically, it's probably you test it, and it's in place pretty good. So probably what you're going to need to do is sort of like some shaking it without really shaking it too much, just to try and like get it so that it can like work its way free. This looks like a job for Nordjor.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. I call him forward and tell him to give it a little bit of a shove back.
So he's going to explain to you, Nordjor, essentially what you need to do is you're going to put your hands up there. You're not going to push it all up at once, but you're going to kind of like pull on one side when you kind of like push on another, and back and forth a little bit, trying to get it worked a little bit loose and trying to get that grease worked around a little bit more into it before you actually push up. So I'm going to ask
my fingers while you're doing that.
and then, so what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and give me your choice, because we all know that you have the strength for it. You can either give me an athletics or a acrobatics check. I'll let you do either of the two that you want.
It's fine.
Now you're going to have advantage because he's greased it up.
Jokes.
Let's see, what do we get there? 15. That is plenty fine. So Nordjor does that, and he starts working it back and forth a little bit, and then like some little bit of like rust kind of comes off of it and falls down a little bit, gets in your hair, what have you. There's a little, and then finally it pops up, and you make very minimal sound when doing it.
Great.
Great
I'll
job.
squeeze back to the back and let others go first because it'll take me longer to get out. So if
Right.
I don't want to be the choke point.
You don't want to be that guy. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, I will actually slide up first,
Okay.
since I'm familiar-ish with the area,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of poke my head just kind of out over the the top of the toilet and just look around real slowly, real carefully, make sure there's nothing to be seen.
And this is
Obviously, I
actually,
have my black hood pulled up and down, so it's
Right.
not real obvious.
now when you stick your head out, it is lit in this area. There are light posts that give off light, and then there's also the wall of the peak itself has light around on it. While it chases away the deep darkness, it does create plenty of shadows in the process. This grade opened up right behind, essentially, like I said, it's really even, it's not even an inn or a tavern, it's pretty much an unnamed place, but it is essentially a common hangout room for the palace guards. And you can hear the revelry and whatnot coming from this place because it is in the back of that, and it's not on houses it's behind, but it's behind like some storage sheds that are right behind that building, and it is buttoned up against the wall. So like there's in front of you there's a storage shed, and then in front of that is the building, and then behind you is the peak wall.
Okay. Well, I'll just slip out then after I've verified there's nothing out there. And signal for the next person to come out, and I'm also going to...
Give me that stealth roll. All right.
I mean, terrible rolls.
Yeah.
I rolled a 2.
I'll go next.
Go ahead and give me a stealth roll as 2.
I mean, are we trying to sneak up to the house in general, guys?
I think that's
Yeah.
a good idea.
Okay, then I would cast Pass Without a Trace, so everyone gets +10.
All right.
stealth.
Well, glad you did, because I.
Okay. I will let that go retro back for because that was, you guys would have already been talking about that as you were making your plans
Yeah.
as far as what you
And
were
I
gonna
also rolled a 2, by the way, Michael. But I.
Yeah. Everybody's rolls
Wow.
are bad.
do. That's some
All right.
pathetic rolls there, gentlemen.
I mean, technically the lowest one's a 14 right
They're
now.
all
The
winning.
highest one's a 30, so...
There you go, Wyndon. Knock them
Thank
out.
God for the pass
Yeah.
without a trace.
Yeah.
So you guys are all out. You're behind this shed, this storage shed that's behind this tavern, and you guys all hear the revelry. The guards laughing and joking and carrying on, and it's all muffled.
We go quick.
Yeah.
Three
Like
toes.
sort of skirt the wall there.
Yeah,
to stay in
and
the
that's the
shadows.
thing. There's plenty of, like I said, the lights that are put on in here while driving away. Like I said, the deep darkness, it creates tons of shadows, so it's like perfect almost for skulking around. You can tell whoever decided to put up these lights, they weren't a thief. They definitely weren't some kind of rogues that know about skulking around in the darkness. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we'll keep with those stealth rolls. You guys are making it down the wall area. There's a couple of times where you stop because I'm assuming Three Toes is leading the way.
Yeah.
He makes you guys stop and then like kind of crouch down a little bit and hug the wall some. There's at one point a squad of guards. There's 4 that pass on the wall above you, but they're not looking down into where you're at.
Right.
You do pass by, when you pass by that tavern, there's windows that are there and open, and you can see inside, and it's exactly what it is. It's palace guards in there drinking, eating, just kicking around. Then you go past the barracks. And again, the way these buildings and all that are situated, it's all situated pointing towards the center of the peak, towards the Raven Square. So you guys really have no problem whatsoever cutting it down along that wall until you get to, you start hearing the Three Crowns up ahead. Now, the Palace Guards little inn or tavern was much more ruckus than the place ahead of you. Matter of fact, the noisiest thing that's coming out of the Three Crowns is like some harp music. And, you can hear like some very faint mumbling of people talking, but that's pretty much it. And then there's supposedly the house that was in the directions, in the address that was given to you guys.
So
All right.
we just
Made it to
wanna
the
get
house,
to
basically?
right?
I'm sorry, what?
We made it to the house then, pretty much.
Yep, you guys are at that house.
And I'll
Okay,
say,
so the back and front door are locked. So what are we looking
Right.
at for windows?
Okay, so essentially, it's not a really big house. It's kind of like, seems almost a little out of place for the peak. Now, most of the buildings in here are a little more opulent, more well put together. Now, the building, this house is sturdier, but it is more just, it's a stone edifice that's painted, and it has a second floor. It's got a red shingled roof, and there's one window on the front, and then as you were coming along, you see that there's two windows on the side. So essentially, you guys come up to the back end of the house.
And our note said it recommended trying a second floor entrance. Is there anything like a balcony or anywhere we could stand, or would we have to like completely climb up and then just
You would have to completely climb up, or somebody standing upon Norjor's shoulders would be tall enough.
Rahly's gonna start climbing the house, looking for the second story entrance.
Holy shit! Look at that! Good lord, man!
It's like a
So
raccoon.
He is. And here's the thing: because it's made of stone, it's not brick, so it's not like what do they call that, where everything's uniformed? It's got, there's like handholds to it, and Rahly just goes right up and just wham, you go right up and you're at the second story, where that window is.
Are there additional stories beyond the second one?
No, this is just a two-story
Two-story
Yeah.
building.
two-story little narrow house stuck in between other buildings. It
Is,
almost appears as if this was put here or built here as an afterthought.
Is the window locked?
Go ahead and give me another athletics check. Okay, that's enough, seeing how you rolled so super stealthily on the other one. Yes, it is locked. You cannot. You're like trying to. There's no real. You're trying to get some purchase underneath where the window itself meets the sill, and there's like some sort of lip there, but it seems to be recessed some. So like there's the track that the window would go into. I mean, this is not like some of the other buildings that you find in other places of Rook Roost. That's actually constructed pretty well.
Is
Might
there
wanna
a
look
visible lock of any
inside.
sort?
I'm sorry. What?
Can I look? Can I see in? If I look through the window, can I see into the building?
You look in. You try to peek through the window, and it's like a window in glass only. It's almost as if somebody's painted the other side of the window.
Interesting.
That's not shady at all.
Guys,
Of course
this
not.
this window's fucking weird. It's like
We're all still on the first floor, right? Other than
Other than
yeah.
Rahly, you guys are all just standing on the ground looking up at him.
Use your crowbar. Pop it up. Let's go.
Well, give me a crowbar.
I hand it up.
Rahly smashes the window.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my.
Oh man.
Are you really smashing
I'm
it?
gonna.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna. As soon as he does that, I run to the other side of the house, where that other window was, and try to scramble up that way.
I thought you were gonna go smash that one too.
No, I'm.
Okay.
I'm going to the opposite
Wait.
side of the smashing.
Okay, before you get to that point, essentially this is how this house is situated. Where you guys are standing at the back of the house, you are obstructed from any view of anybody who would be out here in the square.
Mhm.
Okay? So basically the only people that would see you would be somebody who was back along the wall or was coming over down the sides
Or
of
was
where you're
already
at.
in the house.
Yeah,
Or
and
was already
obviously,
in the
like,
house.
yeah,
Correct.
obviously we're posting a lookout at this point. Like, most of us are looking at the wall or the side.
Well, the
that we
point
actually-
being is this: if the breaking of glass drew attention from anybody from the square, they would be much more likely to see you climbing up that side of the wall. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The side that I'm on, or the side that's
No, the side that
No,
I
the
was
side
going
is-
to.
side
Yeah,
that's level.
exactly.
I mean,
I
also,
say,
I
"God
mean,
damn it,
first of
Rahly."
all, there was a Palace Guard barracks, which was like pretty far off, like based on this map. So it's not like they're super close, but we're kind of.
But we don't
getting
know
a
what's
little...
in this fucking house.
No, I agree.
We
We
need
should
to
abandon
move though,
Raleigh.
because we just
Okay.
we don't have time to
The
stand
only
around
point of
anymore.
caution
We need to
Rahly
move
took
and get
was he
up in
didn't
there
flip his
now.
jacket.
Okay, so you broke the window, Raleigh, and what
Yeah,
do you
I was gonna say the only point of caution he did take was he held up his jacket and hit it through the jacket to.
Oh, dude, if you're gonna do that, we need an athletics roll to see if you can even do it.
All right.
Because you're talking about letting go of your handhold. Okay, you can't. You can break it, but this whole trying to break your jacket up so that you can get it through the big. Yeah, it's so you can either just break it with the crowbar or try something else.
I think he'd probably try that. Like, so if he falls, then he falls. But that's what he'd be trying to do. His whole so he basically like take the lapel of his jacket and grab it with his handhold. So he
Okay,
like reaches
so-
up, that becomes the handhold, and
Raleigh
But
goes
if it doesn't
forward.
work, it falls.
Yeah,
That's-
Raleigh's falling, and you're going back down towards the stone. You guys are kind of like almost underneath him. You can all back away and
Yeah,
let
I'll
him
move
hit
out
the
of the
ground.
way. Yeah, just take
Okay.
a step back.
Nordra will step back.
Okay. Bam! He fall down and hit the ground. And let's see here. I'm just gonna. Yeah, dude, you hit your head pretty bad when you fell down.
That's-
You take 4 points of damage from doing that.
alright.
Oh, that was
Better luck
interesting.
next time.
All right, we need to
If
just
you're
get
gonna
into
commit
the...
suicide, I suggest a taller building.
Do we have any anything sticky like glue or honey on us? Does anybody have anything like that?
Well, you had grease, but you kind of used all that up now.
Yeah.
All right, we need to make a decision. Are we going in this house or are we getting the fuck out of here?
Oh,
I
we're
think
going
we
in.
We're going in, yeah.
All right.
I will go ahead and climb it then.
Okay, go ahead and give me a. Not a problem.
And
This is super easy to climb, obviously.
I'm going to climb too. I'll just keep my other roll since that's what I rolled at the first time.
I'm gonna keep an eye out.
Okay.
Not that I'm all that observant, but
Yeah,
you know, whatever.
Nordra is also keeping an eye out right now.
Yeah, you guys both are able to flank the window on either side.
I take my crowbar, which I grabbed from off the ground before I started my climb,
Uh-huh.
and kind of wedge it in the bottom there and just give it a little kind of push up to see if it'll just kind of pop easy.
Okay, give me an acrobatics roll. Oof. Yeah, you can't find it. You're trying to put it in there so that you can go and keep your hold, and it's like you just can't find any levers to get in to actually really give it a good push.
The window's
so
already
you're not
broken, though, right?
no,
No,
no.
he fails to.
No,
I
we
allowed
went
it-
backwards in time.
Okay.
Yeah, I allowed him to retro it back and say, well, I was going to do it this way.
Okay.
Just you guys didn't get swarmed right there yet.
All right. So I can't do it without letting go, and I'm not going to let go. So.
Right.
Um.
Never
All
let
right,
go.
and there's no visible lock. There's no visible anything
Not on the
here.
window. No. There's locks on the
Okay.
doors.
I glanced down. Would Norjor be able to kind of boost me up and keep me at this level?
Yeah.
What,
if you were to
can
get
I-
on his
Yeah, I probably
shoulder.
can't hold on to him.
So I kind of whisper down to kind of walk over and kind of stabilize me here, so I can kind of work on getting this window popped open.
Mordor sighs, but he does it. He, like,
Okay.
trods over there sullenly. You being used like a footstool.
I make sure I got a good foot on the shoulder or arm or whatever it is it's offered, and
Okay. Now you can
And
make
go
an
it.
athletics roll at advantage.
athletics.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a crowbar.
You're trying to crowbar it open.
Okay.
All right, there you go.
All right.
Not a problem. Okay. So you open it up and it like
All right. Slide it right up and prop it open with the crowbar, and then
it
without
slides up.
thought.
You have to go really slow with opening it because it's like no one's ever opened this thing after they built this sucker. It's like fresh in the sill itself. So you're like the first person doing it. So it's sort of like you start to do it. It's like.
As he's doing that, whatever space there is, I want to look through to see into the darkness and see what I see.
You see an empty second floor. It's as if the entire that entire floor up there is one big room, and it's empty. And you see stairs and like a handle for it that go down. There's one on the far end of the room, and there's one like right underneath the window that you're opening.
Okay. I'll just whisper down. Second floor seems empty. There's a staircase right by the window. Be careful as you climb in. And there's another staircase, looks like the main staircase across the room.
Okay, so it takes you a little bit longer than normal, but just to not make a big old bunch of noise with opening the window. But you get the window open, Three Toes, and you're able to get in. Now the drop down from the window onto the stairs isn't like or nothing because you're right where the stairs start and go down. So
Before we
Good, like
continue,
something.
is there? You said that the building looks like it was built as an afterthought, but it's like it doesn't look like brand new or anything, right? Like it doesn't look. Does there appear to be anything like unusual about
It's
like the
not
facade
brand
of the
new.
building or anything like that that seems
No.
out of place relative to the other buildings?
Oh yeah, it does seem out of place to the other buildings just by its
Its size.
its size, its construction. It's really simple, whereas
Yeah,
most of the other buildings that are in here are.
A lot more
No.
ostentatious. than the
You
other
got
ones.
it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the inside of the windowsill that we just opened up, it's just painted over. Is that like? Because you said that the windows are painted over or something like
Yeah.
that, so you could see
Yeah.
into them, right? What
Yeah,
are they?
Essentially,
just
when
like-
you guys get up in there, you'll see that's exactly the windows are blacked out, is what it is. So nobody
Okay.
sees into them.
Okay.
Which is
I
weird
mean-
because there's nothing to see.
We all climbing up through here then? Is Norge
Yeah,
gonna
are
be able
we-
to get through this window?
Yeah, he'll be able to get through. It's the
Oh,
same
wow.
thing. It's just, he's going to have to really,
Sure. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's not
It's not
going
going
to
to
be.
be
my rope.
stealthy. It's not going to be stealthy, guys. But I think
Well,
we've
we
given
can
up.
drop my rope down, and you guys can
Well,
crawl
you
up.
still have Pass Without a Trace going on.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's true.
That'll help.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which would have helped with the breaking of a window, too.
Okay, so
All right, so
I guess I'll go ahead and climb up the rope that Three Toes leaves for us.
Okay, so essentially you guys can all get in there. And it's a very dusty, dank, still-aired place. It's like nobody's done anything in here. There's no like marks on the floor. There's no carpet. There's like nothing on the walls. You can actually see the rafters up above. You know, it almost has a slight feel of being almost unfinished.
I wouldn't
I'll
be
retrieve
surprised.
my rope.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this book is not on the first floor, but below it. And that this house was built on top of something.
That seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Well, shall we head down?
Yeah, well, I want
Actually, is there anything up? Do we see roof rafters, or is there like maybe an attic up there?
No, you saw the rafters.
All right.
Now there's
Well,
two
let's
staircases.
head on down.
Before we do that, Mordor would say, I guess, trying to decide if it makes any sense to do this. Yeah, that's fine. I'll say like, give me a moment, and he's going to kind of concentrate and focus his center, and he'll take 10 minutes to ritual cast detect magic.
Okay. That's
All
good.
right. Well, while he's doing that, I am definitely keeping an eye out.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out on the stairs,
made
the far
We should
stairs.
close if everyone's up there, I guess we should close the window too.
I was gonna say, should we close? Exactly what I was gonna say. Should we
And
close
just
the
so you
window?
know, your pass without a trace is gone now.
That's right.
Yep. 2 concentration spells, so.
Pass
Now-
without trace is concentration.
Yeah.
Is if you cast it as a ritual, does that cancel concentration?
It
No,
doesn't.
no, because it's the maintaining of the spell after it's cast that it's the
Yeah.
concentration spot.
Sure.
Because it stays. Because how long is it? It's like 10 minutes or something for detect magic after you have it up, right?
Yeah, it's 10
Yeah.
minutes afterwards. Path without
Yeah.
trace
Okay.
lasts for an hour.
Okay, so basically this is what happens. You guys give him a little bit. You heat like how does that happen? You sit down and you chant, or is that crisscross
I mean,
applesauce?
it technically has a verbal and somatic. So yeah, he's gesturing a little bit, but he's largely like in a form of meditation. He's kind
Gotcha.
of like cross-legged on the ground, mumbling something under his breath quietly, and shaping signs with his hands. And then, as 10 minutes later, he's kind of his eyes glow again with a different aura as he's like looking. He can see magical auras.
Gotcha. Exactly. Okay, so you get done with that, and the entire house, it doesn't like radiate with magic as in it is a magical, but it has like just this ever so faint, sort of like light going through dust sort of glow that there had been magic here at some point. Okay.
I'll tell the others. No magic here, but residue.
Exactly. Okay, so you guys go down to the first floor.
And there's 2 staircases to go down.
Yep,
Yeah.
there's one at the front and one at the back.
If I was keeping watch at the front during this 10 minutes, can I sort of peek down and see where that leads?
Yes,
into the house?
it leads to a landing on the first floor. And from what you can see from up there, from like
Mhm.
looking at different angles and stuff, it looks like the first floor is empty too. And there is also a stairwell that continues to lead down.
Yeah, I let the others know.
And both stairwells kind of lead to the same landing then, or at least the same floor.
Well, okay, so after you guys, he's done with that, you go down to the first floor. First floor looks just like the second floor, except that the stairwell leads down, and then where the stairwell comes off, there's the door, and then like you go around, and it's just like how like on the fire stairs. So there's another stairwell that goes down, and you'll be walking down, and the stairs that you just came down are right above you. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah.
And it goes down, and there's a landing on which is obviously going into a basement of some sort, and there is a iron door there, and that sucker glows with magic.
I'll tell
And
them.
you're
it's
assuming
like-
that the same. If anybody goes and checks the other stairwell that goes down, it's the exact same thing. There's another door there. It glows with magic. When you go and you actually go and look at it, you can actually see runes carved and painted onto the surface of this iron door.
Mordor
And
will
what?
say- Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what school of magic is the door? Because
Enchantment.
detect.
Yep. It's enchantment. Mm-hmm.
Really?
So he'll go and say, both steel doors enchanted. Be careful.
Okay. Great. So I'm trying to get a sense for this, Will. So is the two doors on the opposite side of the room the magic doors, or are they next to each other? I haven't.
No.
mentally-
It's essentially, think of it this way: there's a fire escape sort of stairs at the front. This is a rectangular room.
Okay.
And both, you got one on each side of the different rectangles.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Like
Opposite sides that lead down.
Correct.
Kind of. Yeah.
Correct.
Now, remind me, Steve, did you tell us about the bell or no?
I have not told you about the bell. Although I might get to that point soon.
Well, I mean, she never told you what to do with the bell, right?
Yeah. No, she just said if you need me, ring it. I assume she meant in her house, so it's going to take a little bit of a jump.
Actually, she said anywhere in Rook Roost.
Oh, she did? I'm sorry. Okay. Well, that was my own lack of memory then.
That's quite all right.
Cool.
So
Well, guys-
when Nordor says "be careful," Rahly is just going to like very tentatively and kind of like cringing, like reach out and try to open the door.
Okay, you guys see this happening because it's just a stairwell down. And there's like the landing that is before the door is really only enough for one person, and Rahly wasn't the first person, so like you can see if he's gonna like he's bustling his way past you guys to go down towards the door.
Nordor's gonna try to stop him.
I'll try to stop Nordor from stopping him.
Okay, everybody give
I
me
would roll athletics.
I'm going to just stand as far back away from the door as I can.
athletics, or you can use acrobatics to move out of the way, so you guys can all make your rolls.
So Rahly's not going to try to contest it, but if Three Toes is successful, Rahly won't notice.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
yeah,
Three Toes is, he's sort of like, it's almost as if he's encouraging you. He just like puts a reassuring hand on Nordor's shoulder. He's all like, wait, you don't want him, you do want him to go down there.
He's like,
Okay.
and Nordor will say in Elvish, and he'll say, "Wait, this might be dangerous. We should
Rahly's
decide."
like, I'm being careful. See, look, and he's like tentatively doing it. That's his idea of being careful.
Nordor shakes his head and like kind of bounces him
Nordor,
back.
he's a wizard of some sort. His father's a wizard. I'm sure he knows all about wizardly things. Let's just stand back and let him be a wizard.
If we do, then I agree we stand back. But no, we weren't standing back, so
I'm
wait.
standing back.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
if everyone's
I
on
prefer
board
to
with
look
letting
at the
Rahly
door.
do it, Rahly things, Nordor's gonna let him go, but he's gonna get the fuck out of the way, go to the entire opposite side of the room first.
I just say
Okay,
I don't
so-
think it's a good idea. I just say to Rahly, I don't think it's a good idea just to open this door.
Oh, I
Being
do.
careful doesn't mean touch it lightly. It means don't open the door unless we have a
Can
real
I-
solid way of figuring out how to open
So
it.
what that all means, Rahly, is nobody really stopping you. So you go down to the door. What are you
Well,
gonna
no, so Silverwolf explained it to me in a way that I can understand. That's
Can I take a look
No,
at
no,
the
no, Rahly,
rooms?
you want to open the door. You're gonna be fine. Just go ahead.
now I
Open
I
it.
Well,
You're
definitely.
gonna see what's there.
Is there a
Silverwolf
keyhole?
says, "Look,
Can I peek through anything?
yeah, I reverse
sorry, what?
people."
Is there like a keyhole? Can I peek
Nope.
through? Or is there a crack in the door? Can I see underneath?
There's no
I'm really persuasive.
yeah, he is really persuasive.
Again,
I say,
know
look, I
I'm
said,
not ever taking any advice from Three
There
Toes.
is a latch handle. Essentially, you know how the type of handle it's a curved out and it's got the depressor that you could use your thumb to press it down and then like
Sure.
either pull or push. It's got that handle, but it doesn't have the thumb depressor.
Interesting. No crack underneath it, right?
I
Now
say,
take a
look,
look at the rooms
Salas
that you said are on the door.
Sure. Roll an Arcana if you got it.
I do have it. Oh no, I'm not proficient in, so never mind. I thought I was. I apologize.
Nope.
I
I
apologize.
say Salis said that she was, would know, what we were doing and is there to help. Do you think
that's
she's
funny.
somehow here with us?
That's funny that you mentioned that, Silver Wolf. Hold on a moment, and I'll take out from my pockets a little bell, and I'll be like, well, why not? And I'll do.
Okay.
So I don't see how this is going to help.
Well,
He brings out this little brass bell. And you just like give it a little shake?
yeah, just a little,
Oh, he's another wizard here with our group, so
Not
I'm
a
sure he's
wizard.
got
It
some
seems like
magic
he's
there.
calling for. It seems like he's calling
Okay.
the maid.
A 2 heartbeats go by, and then there is a puff and a little explosion of purple smoke, sort of in the center of the first floor, and then it dissipates, and there's Salis in her gnome form. Oh, yes.
hello, Salis. I didn't think I'd have to use the spell so soon.
Oh, that's quite all right. I was hoping you would do that so that I could come and see what you're all doing up close. Is there something that I can do for you?
Well, these doors here, according to our friend Nordra, are apparently very, very magical, and we don't want to mess with them unless we either know how to disarm them or what they're going to do. Or your Bailiwick.
Let me see them. So she comes walking over, skipping like she does, and you guys are all kind of clustered around the top of the stairs there, and she kind of
Nordor's on the
bumps-
other side of the room. Because
Yeah.
open. And now that Silas is here, he's definitely on the other side of the room. He doesn't even know how the fuck she just got here because he technically never explained
nope, you
what
sure
the
did.
bell was. So she just magically appeared, and he was like, "Devil child."
But she makes it a point to kind of bump and rub into everyone as she gets by, and then goes down the stairs to the door, and she just starts looking at it. Oh, oh, yes. Oh, that's powerful magic, extremely powerful magic.
Anything you can do about that?
Well, let me think about it for a moment. Well, let's see. And I could.
I almost want to let Rahly open the door now.
Yes, but I need you to come hold my hand, Silverwolf, while I do.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I'll hold her hand if this gets his door open.
So you go down the stairs. and her
I'll
little
take
gnome-
one for the team if I have to. Let's just get through this door.
Her little gnome hand grabs your hand, and she grabs the hand with the ring,
Oh,
and she starts rubbing it.
oh.
And then she casts a spell. She closes her eyes, starts mumbling, waving her hand back and forth in front of the door. And as she does it, sparkles of purple energy kind of trace as she goes. And then she starts swaying a little bit, and then she stops, and the glyphs and the wards that are on the door fade. And she kind of almost passes out, and she leans into you, Silver.
Yeah, I'll catch her so she doesn't fall over.
Okay,
Kill her
before
now.
as
She's
that's
weak.
as that's happening, and she's casting the spell and rubbing the ring. I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
That's always a good sign.
7.
Okay, while she's doing that, you go blind for 2 seconds. It's you freak the fuck out at first because you're like, what the fuck just happened? Where did the lights go? And then you're like, oh my god, I'm blind. And then the darkness lifts, and what you see is not where you're at. You see a very dank, dark cave, and there's water dripping, and there's a clinging yellowish mist that clings to the floor around. And on the far end of this cave is a swirling black and purple, like smoky portal. And then your eyes go black and they clear up again, and then you're there, and Salus is starting to fall into you.
I try to act
And
nonchalant.
I need you to do me a favor, and on your character sheet, under your bio, mark a yes and mark a no, and then I want you to put a 1 next to yes. Actually, you need to put a 1 next to the no too. Actually, now that I think about it,
Totally fine. Everything's fine.
yeah, everything looks cool to you guys.
Totally.
Yeah.
And Salus is kind of like, she's like almost mumbling incoherently. It's not like she's like or anything. She's just kind of like, it's almost as if she's sleeping and dreaming.
I sort of nudge her a little bit and I say, "Are you all right?"
That's all you're
I
getting
said,
out of her.
I asked Wyndon if he knows how to get rid of her now that he that he brought her here.
No, I don't. But we can hear. Let's take her and kind of lay her down in the middle of the floor for now, or near the door, so Nordra could still be far away.
Yeah.
And we'll put her. If she doesn't wake up, we'll just kind of lay her down to rest for now. I go, wow, she actually did it. I didn't think that would work. Rahly, you want to try to touch that door now?
Rahly opens the door.
Okay, so you go down to where the door is, Rahly, and you grab the handle and you push, and it pushes open with no problem.
See, I told you. If you'd have done this right away, we'd have been further along.
And it opens up onto this room. You guys see that there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Before we head down, I will take.
This is the door you're at.
We intentionally can't see the middle of the room like that.
Correct.
Okay.
I'm gonna carry Salus with me. I don't want to.
Okay, you're gonna bring her with us.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't want to leave her.
Okay.
Okay. What you
Sleeping
guys
in
can
this
do is drop your tokens like right over here, because I'll have to do because some of you guys can see automatically. Okay, there it is. And I just need to do the just depends on the.
Or George still has dark vision. It's not a
Yep.
concentration.
So that's what I'm going to do right there. Let's see here. So it'd be.
Rahly is so big.
How did that work out for you there? There it is. Oh, quit moving.
Sorry.
That's all right. Because it goes.
He's antsy with Silas being so close by.
It goes away with every time that we. I haven't got it to make it stay so that when I give you who should have sight. Oh, look at Rahly.
He's been overeating a bit.
A little bit.
Anabolic steroids.
Okay, so Three Toes and Wyndon, you can only see what you can see.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
So
Now,
these are-
if somebody's going to make, like get a torch or something like that out, let me know, and then I can do something for you.
Okay.
Huh. I don't have control of my
Now,
code.
these right here, just so you know, like right here. Oh, you didn't have control of that one?
No, I don't have control of either one. It's weird. Oh, never mind. I'm an idiot.
Okay, that's good. I'll get rid of the really big one because I already did one and you did the other one. Okay, these right here where it looks like a full of like coals or something, those are actually glowing red rocks.
Are they
So
hot?
You go over, you put your hand out towards it. They are warm, but they are not hot.
I put my hand closer.
Yeah, you can actually put it to the point where you can touch them. It's not going to burn you. They are
picked
definitely
one up.
warm to the touch. Okay, you can pick it up. Okay, so let me go ahead and give Did it not? What level am I on? No, I'm on the right
just
level.
go.
Guys, I found the book.
Oh, by the way, Rahly, back out of there. You're not that close. There's your torch, your thing right there. See it?
All right. Yep.
Okay. So you get to right there, Rahly. Now there's energy on the floor and going up in a dome around this. Okay? Each one of these areas has a picture in it. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. This is a stone statue of a warrior.
So what happens when Rahly tries to walk through the dome?
You go and you push against it. Okay,
Yeah.
give me a reflex saving throw. Okay. You just took 2 points of necrotic damage, and you shot your hand back. It's like a force field, basically. Now
What do the
it does.
symbols all look like? I mean, does anybody recognize these symbols?
They're pictures, actually, and so you can know the force field does not seem to be around the pictures. That circle right there has no energy going up from it. It's like from the back and then along the line, and so you can actually it would appear you could touch within those. The pictures are, let's see, where are you at? Three Toes. Oh, you're over there. Okay, so that one that's directly in front of you.
I would have placed Salis back behind this thing gently, so she's sort of behind that little pillar.
Or behind, so like
Down
over here.
where we first walked in, just back down here, yeah.
And just so you know, these things right here, these are not pillar height.
Well, you
They're
know,
only,
she's still probably hidden because she's a gnome laying prone on the ground.
They are essentially they're 2 foot high.
Okay.
Stones, and then they've got those red glowing stones in the center.
Yeah, I
She
just
could
don't want her in the
stand
middle
behind
of the...
it and hide.
Yeah, I just don't want her in the middle of the floor here, so I'm gonna just put her back by there.
Okay, this picture right here. Go ahead and give me a history check.
Everybody, or Three Toes,
or history. Just Three Toes. He's the only one that said a history or a nature check. Either or.
Either one of these I care about.
Okay, you're pretty sure it's the picture of a wyvern.
Huh. All right, how about this guy right here?
That one right there?
Yep.
Okay. Again, give me a roll. Either or history or nature.
Or nature. Okay, well,
History
that's
or
the same
nature.
for me, so...
Oh, you can tell for sure that's a basilisk.
Oh boy, I don't like the theme of this. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
I'll check the 2 that I'm in between, that one and then the one above. I'm gonna use nature though. 20 for the.
That's a dragon.
All right, and then
Which
for
one's a dragon?
That one right there is the dragon.
The other one, I don't know that I know.
It seems to be like a circle with like speckles in the center of it. It's kind of odd. You're not really sure what that is.
Are there any markings on these statues that correspond to any of the markings we see here on the floor by chance?
But these statues are incredibly detailed. Almost as if somebody was turned to stone.
Oh. Shit.
I know, right?
Yeah, there's a basilisk there.
Yeah.
Well, it seems too obvious, doesn't it?
Well,
There's also a wyvern and a dragon.
Yeah.
I start to mosey around a little bit and take a look at this one here.
Okay. Let me know if anybody does anything aside just look.
Yeah, no.
I'm just looking with
Rahly
my eyes.
Rahly's going to cast Misty Step. Try to go through the...
Okay. Excellent.
I know it's not going to work, but that's what he'd do. How much damage do I take?
3 points of necrotic damage.
All right.
Essentially, there's a poof, your however the teleportation looks like, and then next thing you know, there's a poof again of you when you hit the energy and come flying back onto the floor. This one, you were looking at that one right there.
Yep.
Okay, again, I'll need a roll.
13.
Okay, that's enough. It is some sort of snake man, half man. It's sort of like a mermaid snake person sort of thing. Lower half's a snake, upper half's a man.
Okay.
So, Will, I just want to make sure I'm keeping track of this. So, this one, dragon, right?
Uh-huh.
This one, basilisk.
Correct.
This one was maybe a wyvern.
Correct.
This one was snake man.
Lower half is a snake, upper half is a man.
So like
Okay.
a Yanti.
Right. And then Silverwolf doesn't know what this one was.
No.
And these two remaining have yet to be identified. Okay.
Correct.
All right. Well, I'm gonna look at the square next to me.
Okay.
I'll look at the last one here.
Damn it! No, I don't know.
Yeah, you're not. Actually, I give you this one. It looks a lot like what you guys used to look like after you had taken that, used those scrolls.
Kobold.
Cool.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll check this last one out.
Just go ahead. Yep.
Oh, Gavalt. All right.
Let's put it this way. I can tell you what it is. You just don't know what it is. Okay. It looks like a scaly man with a extended scaly snout. But it has legs. It has arms.
It's snout. Okay. Okay. So this picture up here that on the very top that Silverwolf did, does it look anything like the other pictures, or is it completely different looking?
Well, it's different in the fact that all the other pictures that you saw were definitely of some sort of like beast, monster sort of thing.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to take a look at it, go ahead and make a roll.
I would love to. Still history?
History or nature, either or.
Okay.
You know what it is. It's an egg.
Okay.
The one on top.
It goes in order, guys. I think it goes egg, kobold, scaly man, snake man, wyvern, and basilisk dragon.
That's
Well,
what I have.
What's the snout thing?
I'm guessing that's a dragonborn, but I don't know.
I'm gonna
But-
take a look because maybe 10.
You've seen some dragonborn before, and this is definitely not have as much of a draconic kind of look to it.
Okay.
I entered
better.
a conversation as well.
Even better, actually.
I
That's
have
good.
even better ideas.
It's a scaly man. That's what it is.
So it goes in. I think it goes starting with the egg, going clockwise. It gets more and more dangerous. That's my.
Yeah, I don't
that's
know.
my take on
Basilisk
this.
dragon.
Wait,
they're pretty,
basilisk is more dangerous than a wyvern?
I don't know. Maybe.
I'd say basilisk is more dangerous than a wyvern, but toss a coin between basilisk and dragon.
Oh, dragon's got to be more.
Oh, a dragon,
dangerous.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Depends
yeah.
on the dragon.
Well, sure, but I
Yeah,
mean,
but
it
you could
fits a
also
pattern.
say that
though.
like a baby, a baby basilisk is less, threatening too.
Right. Well, I'm thinking, red dragon versus copper dragon. I mean, not even, ages, but yeah.
It fits
Anyway.
a pattern anyway. The question now is, what does that pattern mean?
Yeah, are there any markings on any of these or anywhere else on the walls or anything like that?
Nope.
Rahly's going to grab one of those red rocks and
Okay.
throw it at the dome. He's getting kind of pissed.
Okay, it bounces off, pew, hits the floor, clatters, and rolls around.
So what we
what-
haven't done is touch one of these.
Yeah, I think if we do, we should start with the egg. I think we should start with the egg first. But I have an idea.
Okay.
First, why don't we all get far away from here, or at least I'll get about 30 feet away. I can grab a stone with my mage hand and float it over and drop it on the egg picture and see if anything happens. Start with that anyway.
All right. So
All right. So we're gonna
everybody hide
a
behind
position
something.
among
Yeah.
Yeah,
together, preferably together.
there we go.
Okay. So
Um,
is this where you guys are all going to be down here in the corner?
not getting myself where I'm. Let's see. I like to hide behind Nordger these days.
Right. Okay, so you pick up one of those stones with your mage hand. You bring it over. You drop it.
Yep.
It clatters onto the ground. Nothing happens.
Nothing happens in the circle with the egg? Okay.
All right.
Oh.
Do we want to try maybe pushing one of those statues on top of it?
Sure. Are all these statues the same, Will, or are they all different?
They're all the same.
Okay.
What do they look like?
They look like, excuse me, northern barbarians.
What happens when Rahly stands on it?
Very
Whoa.
big, burly fur and scale and chain, and they got an axe in one hand and a shield, and big old beards and stuff. They definitely like they're gonna come rape and pillage your village kind of guys.
What are the expressions on their faces?
Better than
Anger.
oh shit.
Right? Exactly.
Okay, I mean,
So Rahly went and stepped in the egg circle.
yeah, we
Rahly,
could-
you gonna stand in the egg circle, Rahly?
Yep.
Okay. Rahly goes and stands in the egg circle. There's a and it changes color from this red color to like an orange, and he's not walking towards you. And he keeps walking until he gets to here. He's standing in front of the door now.
Oh, that's not great. Okay.
why don't we destroy the statues?
Because
That's
I
a
think
great
they may
idea.
be Monster.
But you know what, gentlemen? It's
Yep.
that time.
Yep.
It's the magic quitting time. But you're here. Oh my God, what the hell's going to happen now? This is a good cliffhanger. This is a good one here. So, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've done it again. You've watched another great, or wasted another hour or 3 hours watching the Return to the Bandit Kingdoms. I want to say thank you to everybody who's tuned in and watched again. And feel free, if you know somebody who might enjoy this, or you like what you see here, please friend us up on Twitter, join, or you can also go to the Facebook Returns of the Bandit Kingdoms page. Go ahead and like us up there. Feel free to comment, give us any messages. We reply back if you have any suggestions or what have you. Hi, Frank. So, yeah, so we would love for you to get involved as much as we would like you to watch. So that's about it, and I want to say thank you to my fabulous cast. Everybody enjoy themselves tonight?
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm excited we have an actual puzzle to try to figure out.
Yeah.
I know, right? I'm trying to give you guys something. I think
it's-
I think things will progress a little bit quicker now that there's definitely a path. I think you guys have chosen your side.
Mhm.
So whether it's good, bad, indifferent, that shall be come to be decided later, obviously. But right now, what's going on here? Will Salas ever wake up? What the hell is Silverwolf seeing? So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Have a great evening, and we will see you again next Tuesday.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.